All right. Hello. Ooh, what is this, huh? A stream? A stream where we're dropping frames like mad, and everybody can clearly tell that we're dropping frames like mad already? Yeah, I'm currently uploading to the Patreon drive episode 30 of the LP. I'm also currently uploading a video for the main channel announcing that I'm live, one of which has 13 minutes remaining, the other of which has six minutes remaining. Basically, what I'm telling you guys is I need not just 2 internet lines, I need 3 internet lines, okay, to support the massive amounts of content we now deliver. Ridiculous. Anyway, so yeah, we are dropping pretty heavy frames right now. You're only getting like a 30 FPS stream, even though I'm trying to give you 60. So just hang in there. We'll have the intro and whatnot, though. And hopefully during the intro, my internet will settle down and we'll be fine. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. The past fortnight has totally flown by so fast. I can't believe that last weekend... I mean, first of all, 2 weeks ago, I didn't do any more bonus streams, if I remember rightly. We'd gone into a phase where we were doing tons of them because of all the extra casts and stuff. So that week went and there were no bonus streams. Then I didn't do anything on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then there was the whole other week that just went by this week. And it's Saturday again already. Honestly, this last fortnight has exploded past me so quick. It's kind of unbelievable, actually. Terrifying. But yeah, I'm back. The streams are back. Hope you guys had fun last weekend. You didn't fall in love with... Didn't get in bed with any other content creators that I haven't had your heart stolen away from me for missing our scheduled ones last week. Look at this, look at these subs that are coming in. What is this? SCX T1, thanks very much. 24 months in a row. Holy crap, dude, you just got legendary spuds. That's so hype. That's badass. Are the overlays even there? Can you guys even see them? I don't think you can. We can hear them, but I don't know whether you can see them. Dude, look, check it out. You got your legendary spot. Does that mean you done it there? There you go. Achievement unlocked. Hold on. Aren't there things I can set up for 3 years now and 6 years and stuff? Isn't that a thing I can do? Thing is, I don't have an artist anymore. I don't have anyone to do that. Welk's got like a real life and he's like the best guy I've ever worked with and he's gone now. So I don't know what to do there. But yeah, we got SCX, Alien EXE, 17 months. It's great to see you too. Benji, your 3rd month, Benji. You been a busy spud? Hang in there and take care. Thanks, man. I've got more anecdotes on that. But yes, I intend to. And we had Peel Off. It's good to see you peel off 2 months in a row. You're a boss, dude. So thanks very much. Choker says, what happened to the LP episodes yesterday and today? Well, first of all, today isn't over. So there could, in theory, be an LP episode today. You're just being impatient. However, yesterday, the truth is there isn't one today. And there isn't going to be, and there wasn't one yesterday. I did announce why. Yesterday, I wanted to do the channel update thing, just to let you guys like aware of what's going on. I'm giving people an opportunity to catch up as well, basically. But that was yesterday. Today you're going to get an hour and a half. There's not going to be an LP episode, but there's going to be an hour and a half of me and Boots and this stream. So I didn't want to do the hour and a half of me and Boots and a friggin' multiple hour long stream and then a big LP episode. It's just too much, right? It's too much. So yeah, we're taking 2 days to let people catch up, and then it's back into daily. If you follow me on Patreon, you get it anyway. Like the episode 30 is going up right now on Patreon. You're not going to see that till tomorrow though, as regular people. But yeah, yeah, that's it really. That's the whole answer. Heart got stolen by a ninja. Oh dear, a ninja. It's been a whole fortnight. I didn't think you'd be coming back. I'm seeing someone else. He's called Metal Food Product. Metal. I suppose someone made a thing. I mean, there's me, there was Concrete Ducks, there was Wax, obviously, Wax Screwdriver, though he did claim that wasn't inspired by me, it was a coincidence. Someone did do a metal thing. Didn't they do, like, metal britches or something? I can't remember. Yes, it's lots of drop frames of Jules. I literally just talked about that. Oh, Twitch, there you go. No, as soon as I come back to Twitch, do I remember what frustrates me about Twitch. WP's been working on the human storyline. Yeah, I know. I saw that you mentioned that earlier. Yeah, literally this stream was 15 minutes late because I'm recording back-to-back constantly. When am I going to start with Casey Whitedale again? You haven't seen the most recent episode, clearly. Because I have. Yeah, it's because I'm uploading... Boo, boo, give us LP. No, you don't get it. 3 minutes. All right, guys, I'm going to do the intro. Don't go anywhere. Tell all your friends. Don't go anywhere. We will try and get some giveaways today. We're going to be playing, as you can tell from the title, some of the new current events, which I've got no understanding of whatsoever. I actually already have my coffee made, so I'm probably just going to sit here and do something else. I ache like mad. I've started working out again for the first time in like I haven't worked out for like 2 years, maybe like a year and a half or something. And I'm like destroyed, guys. I'm destroyed. But it's good because I feel good. But yeah. Yes, I know. I've got people addicted. That's good, Choker. I'm not actually upset or anything. I like the enthusiasm for people. It's very cool. All right, guys, we're going to do the intro. I will be back very shortly. Drop your questions and stuff. I will read through them all, and we'll have a nice little intro, and then we will get in game. I'm going to straw poll as well, whether this is going to be an EU or an NA stream. So get in on that straw poll. Please only vote on the straw poll if you actually intend to be in game and play with me. Don't vote just because I love EU, even though you're not going to come. Please only vote if you want to come. All right, I'll see you guys in a second. Let's do it. I almost clicked stop streaming there. We're supposed to go to the intro. Okay. Shh, it's fine. people. Hello. Welcome. I will post this video announcing the fact we're live in a second. We still have 6 minutes of uploading. Still 6 minutes. So we're going to get frame drop for the next 6 minutes, okay? In which case, I'm relying on you, chat, to make this an entertaining stream. Okay, so let me scroll up and actually read what people are saying during the intro there. I will give you guys full answers. So, Brammy Mond said, "Hey WP, I really enjoy your content, but between the LP, the books, and all your other stuff, I hope you don't spread yourself too thin. Remember to take care of yourself. Your fans love you." I really appreciate that thought, and that's very nice. And yeah, I got to be careful of that. But let me just be clear to people: I'm happier the past month than I have been professionally speaking, not you know, my full life speaking. Professionally speaking, I am happier this month than I have been for ages. Generally speaking, if you don't see that I'm putting out a reasonable amount of content, which is what I'd consider us now at, I'm not happy. Yeah, in fact, I'm pretty bummed, to be honest. I'm pretty miserable. So yeah, this is what it's not spreading myself too thin. I think this is sort of the bar that I want to hit for myself. I feel like I have to be, like, things don't actually come easy, so you gotta if you don't feel like you're even slightly working hard, I feel like you're not. You gotta be pushing yourself. Anyway, for me, so I get people might be worried or whatever. I got a lot of that sentiment lately. Don't be worried. I'm actually happy. This has made me happy making this amount of work. So yeah, I think it's cool. What else we got? Benji says, attention to detail on the sound effect arts is amazing. There's webbies near some of the golems. They must have come from Draconis. I didn't notice that, dude. Actually, I haven't noticed that. I've really got to play a lot more of that. I'm looking forward to when we get there. So Benji also says that Malik was mentioned in the AFC. Yes, he was. I have read the AFC. I have watched it. If people don't know, that's the ArenaNet forum chat, I think is what it stands for. It's like the equivalent. It's the forum equivalent of a Reddit Ask Me Anything. This one's themed on lore. It's kind of an amazing idea for an AFC. I've talked about this before. I almost don't like the idea of an AFC based in lore because I do value lore that is delivered outside of the game as much less than lore that is delivered in the game. So yeah. Wow, amazingly, I just want to say I've randomly logged in here. Completely random where my character is positioned. And the current events have actually spawned, and we're fighting the Awakened right here. That's actually bizarre. I don't know what the odds of that are, or whether there's something like subconsciously going on with me there. That's actually mental, though. That is really crazy. I'm not here deliberately to do this. I didn't even realize this had spawned right now. But I guess I'll run through this one. You'll notice that I'm on my engineer Issa, but we actually have the Cordicus Manor dungeon build here. It's because this is the character I was practicing on. You'll notice I have Scrapper equipped, but no traits selected. No traits selected to simulate the idea of only having 2 specializations, because these miners don't really do anything while you're in the dungeon. It's like do stuff on revive, get a function gyro, like that stuff doesn't matter. But yeah, what was the thing? Yeah, the AFC, right? I am interested in it. I am excited about it. I do think there's been a lot of interesting things. I will do a video on it. I just want to wait a few more days to see if there's more insights that come from the devs. And it is, I want to have that discussion as well. Like, is this actually a smart idea for the devs to do? Because I don't like the culture that is going on. Like, people who are very good at understanding the lore right now, most of their sources and citations for the more interesting parts of the game, they all come from, like, random-ass interviews and shit from like years ago, and I don't think that's healthy that we're reliant on that to understand that stuff. And I feel like the AFC will be that in a couple of years. Big picture, I think is a bad idea, but you know, I get that people are ravenous for more information, and they'll try and get that however they can. So and hey, I'm ravenous too, right? Like, I like the lore just as much as anyone else. So yes, Malik was mentioned. We'll see more about that coming up. So yeah, guys, I currently have a straw poll ongoing. Look in chat. I have a straw poll for which region we're going to play the game in. Please only vote if you actually want to play with me, but I want to know which region has more people to join our squad, and then I will pick the region that has the most, okay? So yeah, what else we got here? Jerry, yeah, it was good to see you. Twitch has crashed. That's kind of crazy. Kabads, it's great to see you. Thanks for the sub. He says, mana mana do 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 do, mana 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 do. I don't know what that song is, but lovely. You guess you'll just have to go make more bacon if NA doesn't win the straw poll. Brilliant. Americans do like their bacon. Dumb question, but how do I view the Super Adventure Box videos on Patreon? I can't figure out where the $20 subs can watch after I read the notification that you've sent out. All right, so this is kind of odd for me to put on the stream. Basically, once you are on Patreon, if you have signed up at that tier, first of all, I'll like freak out over the fact that you've done that, and that's super awesome and nice of you. But basically, what you do is you go to send me a personal message on Patreon. Is our inventory full of what? What is going on with my inventory? Oh, this is all like different gear I was practicing. Oh, you guys can't see. Sorry. Look at my inventory here. This is all different gear I was practicing on the dungeons, so my my thing is like flooded with like just a mess of stuff right now. I guess we won't play this character, or I'll clean this out. Don't worry, guys. I'll clean it out. All right? Don't worry. Yeah, send me a DM on Patreon with an email account of yours, preferably a Google one. And I don't host the videos through Patreon. I host them through a private Google Drive I have, which I pay for. I pay like $100 a month or something to Google to have that drive. So the first $100 I get from Patreon just vanish into Google. But then now that I have that drive, I've got like 2 terabytes of storage or something, cloud storage, and that is where all the videos are. So I give you personal private access to the drive. That's the way that it works. But you have to send me a message with your email just to get that. And then you can access it from any device, anywhere, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. All right? Anyway, sorry, that's probably a bit boring for people. I'll let you guys just look at this inventory vomit for a little while. Just while our upload finishes and I get to the rest of these questions. We're pretty close to a new Living World episode, especially since Living World Season 2 was delayed a week or so. It seems like the Sound Swept was still so recent. I don't know whether that's fair. Don't you think that the delay for episode 2 will carry over now? What do you guys think? Do you think because episode 2 was delayed, that doesn't matter? It means that episode 3 will still come out, like the gap will be shorter? I don't know whether that's right. I think that the delay for episode 2 should buy the future teams extra time as well, surely. Or do you think that it's all very roughly, strictly, stringently structured, and the next even expansion is defined? Oh, look, our loot just despawned. I've never seen that happen in the game. That's crazy. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. What else we got? It's good to see you, Cossage. Yeah, it was fun. There are a lot of reveals in the AFC. There definitely are. Yes, the weakness of Zaitan, says Benji. There was also a nice post about his weakness and how people overlook the fact that we've already weakened him. They do. People do overlook the whole campaign. And they do just hone in on that last moment of pressing 2 on a cannon. But it is still a massive Deus Ex Machina. There's actually a much worse one. I think the conclusion of Traherne's Wild Hunt, Kaith's Wild Hunt and the death of Zaitan is one thing. But the conclusion of Traherne's Wild Hunt is awful. I'm actually really scared of how easily I can hold my tongue in the Let's Play when we get to the end of that shit, because it is so bad. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, guys, it's the quest against the corruption. If you look at the actual facts of that in context with the rest of the story, it's terrible. You guys know this, though, if you've seen any of my streams. We've done it enough. I actually have been inspired, guys, to do a series of beating Zaitan with no UI ever. That's it. It's not permadeath. It's not like any of this other stuff. It's just literally no UI ever. So once you get through character creation, you have to toggle the UI off, and now you have to kill Zaitan. Like this, permanently. I kind of want to do that as like a fun gimmicky Twitch like challenge. Because it's got to be possible, right? You would level up. It would be hard. You wouldn't be able to use Tomes of Knowledge. You wouldn't be able to equip new weapons or gear or anything. But it would be hard. But I think you might be able to do it. I don't know. Hello, Canada Moose. You've never caught the very beginning of the stream? Well, that's cool, dude. Let me see how my upload's doing. Have we rambled enough through it? We have. Cool. I'm gonna post on YouTube now that we're live. There we go. Good. So now we can get people actually watching. Tensfolk, blah blah blah. Rip the frames. The frames should be back now. We shouldn't be dropping frames anymore. Get in there because the current event invasion is going on right now. Yeah, I think we've done it. We're all right. We did it. Reawakening threat. Our inventory is really bad. We'll have to fix this in a second. What WP needs is an internet deal with 1 gig up speed. But then wouldn't it just... I mean, that would be insane. That would be actually insane. That's like enterprise level, extremely expensive though. All right, so Angel's in chat. It's good to see you, dude. So let me just be clear at the start of the stream for everyone. I am not covering the tournament. As you all know, a big focus for mine on Twitch has been PvP. Talking about PvP, casting PvP, Those passions are still there. I don't play much PvP at the moment because I've hardly touched Season 11. But the passions are there. I still care about it. I am still doing the big event that's coming up later. All of that stuff is a thing. But I don't have my ducks in a row right now. I haven't practiced. Cormier's Clash, the monthly, that starts at 8:15 my time. It's currently 5:45 or 5:50, right? So this is actually in about 3 hours. I'm not covering this. I know that I've been building a lot to covering monthlies. I know that I've been like concepting the perfect monthly show, but I'm not ready for it. So I'm not going to do this monthly. We'll just let people go to the other streams. I know Jebro is covering one of them. I don't know who else is covering them. I'm not covering this. This is my stream. We're in PvE for this. Sorry to anyone in and it's not a representation of a complete shift of focus. It's not that I've fallen out of love with PvP. It's just I'm not prepped for it right now. My next week is actually that's what I'm looking back at PvP. Now that the other stuff that I've been doing is finalized, it's just LP and PvP. That's my entire focus. Well, and the audiobook as well. But yeah, so this last fortnight has just been catch up like mad for me more than anything else. And the Super Adventure Box series, you guys don't know, but that actually has taken hours and hours of my life. It was a bit of a nightmare to create. And so PvP fell away because of a Super Adventure Box series, actually. If I hadn't done SAB, I'd be ready for it today, but I'm not. Look at how good that looks over there. So yeah, sorry about that. Sneak Angel, it's good to see you. Warden Adian, almost half a year. Dude, that's awesome. Another phylactery. Can I just deposit? No, I can't. Let me delete some of this stuff. We still got all of these astral weapons that we made. I guess I should just salvage those down at this point, no? We got the outlaw slaying potions we don't need anymore. We got the spiced chili veggie that I was thinking of that we don't need. 3 Black Lion delivery boxes. 1, 2, 3, all with blood. I wonder if it's better to change that off of blood at this point, or whether the economies have normalized. Let's see. Can we get the salvage going? Masterwork or lower? Nope. Let's try it again. Masterwork or lower? Nope. Masterwork or lower? Isn't this so painful to watch? There you go. Good. There we go. Get it out of there. Beauty. All right, we've cleared at least some of it up now. Now I can re-equip my regular gear again. And my practice gear we can ignore. We can put that ring on. Let's go back here. This ring. This amulet, this back piece, this. I kind of want to wear rampages, to be honest. The rare thing, that we can swap again. Why is that skinned so poorly? What the hell? Why have I skinned the Zodges thing? That's so bad. Okay, and then we can salvage that stuff down again, which I was wearing. We can open all of these bags. All these bags, that's all from killing bandits practicing CM over and over and over and over again for that episode. I mean, that was a big time sink as well in the past fortnight. Learning to solo that dungeon on an engineer with 2 specializations instead of 3. Yeah, that was pretty tough as well. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's just hit compact and see what happens. We'll exotic salvage that shit down. Equip our rifle again. See all these bags? Like, honestly, it's all Cordicus Manor. Cordicus Manor is kind of notorious for having a ton of loot in it anyway. All right. That's enough inventory management. Let me get back. I've got to catch up with chat here. Stop typing in chat, guys. Stop it. You're going too quick. I'm actually falling behind here. Slow the balls down. You're missing my Game of the Day series, and the intro to PvP series would be so godly for the community. Yes, literally... That's the next one, dude. Well, it's either that or State of the Game. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I'm going to chew on my fat, and I'm going to think. And then we'll go from there. Doesn't chew the fat mean speaking? You get what I mean. I'm going to think about it. Has anyone found the hero NPCs in the patch? I don't know about the current events yet. I wonder what you guys can teach me about that. One last mention of the straw poll, guys. Get in there. If you want to play with me, look in that straw poll. This is your last chance. Vote in the straw poll if you want to play. And then we'll decide our thing. Yeah, episode 3 has its own team. I get that. I just don't know whether, the delay should benefit that other team, though, right? Wait, what? $100 a month for a couple of TBs. Or do you mean 100 a year? Oh, you're talking about how much it costs for the Google Drive. I don't know. You can look it up. Google, I actually can't remember what it is at the moment. But I think I got 10 Google Drive pricing. I'll tell you what plan I'm on for Patreon. Google Drive pricing guides. I'm on the 10 terabyte plan, I think. I'm 10 terabytes, which is £80 a month. So £80 of what... I set this up when I got Patreon. I said, if I get to a certain level on Patreon, I'll reinvest that money just so that I can do it better perks for you all. So yeah, £80 that I get from Patreon. So that's about $140, I think, a month. Something like that. I don't know what the current rates are. I just give straight to Google to have the drive to then hopefully encourage more people to sign up. I don't know whether that's worked, but yeah, that's basically the idea. So yeah, 10 terabytes, that's what I've got. And it would take me ages to fill up 10 terabytes worth of finished videos. That's like insane. How do I have this transparent bag? There's an option over here. It's called show bags or hide bags. I have hide bags on. Episode 3 will be delayed by 2 weeks. Episode 4 by 3 and so on. Yeah, so they just keep squeezing out extra time. Yeah, I think that they should. I mean, it's not just in terms of content creation, but it's in terms of content consumption. We saw with Season 1 that the devs was cramming out so much content so quick, so fast, that the devs actually, like... the player base wasn't finishing it in time. The player base was actually taking too long to... You know, I remember very clearly... You guys won't remember this anymore. But those of us who were really active and watched the community really closely, as I did as a content creator during those days, there were a lot of people saying that the content was coming too fast. A lot of people. They tend to get shat on by people like me and others in the community saying, oh, no, don't give the devs an excuse to slow down. You know, us big ultra nerds that dedicated our lives to the game and mono-gamed, we were all like, no, shh, and we would silence those voices. But there were a lot of them. There were people saying, oh, no, I've got a real life. I can't play this much. So that's still true to a greater or lesser extent with current stuff in Season 3. The releases might be more infrequent, but they give you so much. Like, look at the story journal. Look at this. 18 achievements, 14, 13, 8, 18. Look at the recent stuff, though, right? So Daybreak had 30. Bug in the System has 35 just for the meta. Right? Like, these are big patches, guys. These are insane. There's a lot of content in there. So, do they need to squeeze it out? I don't think they're under any obligation. This is really strange. I just got a gold selling bot. That's weird. Look at that windmill over there. Don't you dare tell me that this depth of field doesn't look like the greatest thing in the world. Actually, that's a hell of a vista right there. Look at that. I should use that at the start of an episode of the LP. Yeah, the iFight... Wait, the iFight wasn't very good in 2012. I don't think so, anyway. The Sovereign Eye was better than the Zaitan fight, don't get me wrong, but it still wasn't that great. And it was great compared to the background level of the shoddiness that the rest of the story gives us, but again. Look, we're not going to do a Corteria rant, guys. Yes, Jules, the part 30 of the LP is up on Patreon. Enjoy. Don't forget to download that instead of watching it from the drive. If you download, you get high quality. This isn't Brack, no. This is my main NG. This is Issa. I like the Shrapnel build, though. I do like Shrapnel Sanguine Array. Basically, if you run Shrapnel Sanguine Array with grenades, which are all explosions, you proc the Shrapnel so quickly. I just really like this. I like this combo of the grenade kit, Grenadier, this combo. I like it, so I kind of want to play it. I want to play it triple specialized, though. So I want to go like tools or something, and we'll see what else we can do there. Maybe use tools to spam more quickness for more explosion frequency. But a solo build that gets 25 might, fury, quickness, all of those builds are really good for open world. So I really want to experiment with that. That's basically what I want to do while we're doing current events here today. We'll have a look at that in a second. But yeah, I'm thinking that this could be an excellent current event build. Open world solo build. Anything that gets those three is the dream aggressively. What's all this about soloing CM? It's just a part of the Let's Play. How do you donate on Twitch? Oh, you haven't donated, have you? I have heard the overlays going off a few times. I think there's a button. Do you click on there? So yeah. All teams need more time because the maps are bigger. Yeah, like they are huge. The maps are huge as well. Yeah, it's a month. But I mean, the thing is, if you buy a lot of space on Google, you get other perks, I think, just because it's a part of... Like, it's a very stable... reliable service because it's freaking Google, right? Like, you get some peace of mind that you're paying for. Yeah, £80 is nothing for a business. So what did you think of the new Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the end of the beginning trailer? I'm excited about it, Phil and all. I'm excited about it. I kind of want to play it with you all, but I also... I have to be quiet. Listen, I'm not going to talk about non-Guild Wars projects. I'm not going to talk about them. But the trailer looked very cool. And just as a fan of Tomb Raider, I'm excited. I hope that the reboot series can, like, really solidify what it's trying to be in terms of, like, the gritty Uncharted or whatever, you know, like, its flavor of adventure game. I really hope that it finds its place. Because, I mean, this reboot started in 2013. Think about that. The reboot is 5 years old as a franchise now. That actually blows my mind. This will be their third installment. Do you remember the Croft Manor stuff with the, like, the hints as to where it was and seeing that stuff pay off now? Oh, so good. Yeah, by the way, I agree. Caesar Britannicus says content was coming too fast, but people only complained partially because it went away as well. And you're absolutely right. The fact it was going away is a big contributor to that. Could you shout out the monthly? You still only have PH Filmer joining you. All right, guys, listen. Let me just remind you. The monthly. The Champions Comet. Oh my god, guys, this is going to be so exciting. I will be watching it, hopefully. I don't know, I might have something else. I've got to record the next audiobook episode for Monday, so I might be stolen away by other obligations. But come on, it's the monthly day. I know I'm not covering it, all right? But seriously, if a Spud crew goes into monthly, you don't even have to place that high. You're going to get shitloads of cash, guys. Look at this. Literally go to Meta Battle. Just find a couple of people. Coordinate on our Discord. Seriously, Discord. Click that link in chat right now. We have a channel. We have people who want to play. Honestly, just show up. If you've got a couple of QP, look at this. 5th to 8th, they'll throw 100 gold at you guys. 100 gold. It's good. Go do it. And look, it's going to be so exciting with the Champions Comet. I hope that the other casters have a lot of fun showing it off. And in fact, I will try, if any of the PvP casters are live at the end of this video, I will host. Because, yeah, it deserves it. Valen says it takes me like 1 week to make a 15-minute video. Yeah, but your format of video is very different to what I do. But people constantly try to compliment me on, oh, you're so good at editing. It's not that I do anything amazing. That's the thing. Like everything I've done, I've like optimized to allow me to be as lazy as possible so that I can just keep churning shit out, basically. I don't know whether that's something to be proud of, but that's my ethic and my mindset. Just be smart. Don't work hard, work smart. So if you actually look at the moment to moment of my editing process, it's not anything to be that proud of in terms of a time sink. Yeah, I'm doing good, Shredded. Thank you very much. You don't think there's anyone with 100 QP? All right, well, maybe someone on the stream is. Am I still using reshade? I am indeed. That's reshade off. That's reshade on. I actually don't like my sharpening right now, but because I tweaked it a little bit the other day. The city looks a bit better without it on, actually. I like the city there, and then we lose a lot of detail. So I don't know, but yeah, we get a little bit more color. The reboot of Tomb Raider has rekindled your faith in the series. The second newest Crystal Dynamics series wasn't bad, but it was missing something. These new games. Well, you know, Phil Nord, that the newest one is not Crystal Dynamics' main studio. It's a different studio. So I think that'll be really interesting to look at. All right, I'm finally catching up here. I'm finally catching up. We'll get onto the actual content in a second, guys. WP's fan voice is very sexy. What the fuck is my fan voice? Wait, when did I do a fan voice? Oh, God. I was quite impressed by the portal puzzle. You're talking about the new release. Did I use leveling equipment to solo the dungeon or just pure skills? What do you mean leveling equipment? It was pure skills though. I'm a pro player. I'm a PvP esport pro player. If we don't get a third guy from the guild, he could join the guild for the duration of the monthly so we can use the guild name. Yeah, do whatever you want to, Dusty. I hope to see people in the monthly, though. I want to see lots of people in the monthly. I really, really, really want to see the monthly fill up all its brackets. Because fucking monthly being like an hour-long thing that feels no different to spectating a daily is so crap. That's so lame. We got to fill it up more than this, man. Like, look at this. Monthly doesn't even get that many more teams than dailies do. That needs fixing. Fixing big time. All right, okay. There are no heirlooms in this game like WoW, so leveling equipment. Oh, there actually are. If you're talking about gear that levels with you, there is actually. It's a Heart of Thorns feature called Bloodbound Weapons, and it's like a terribly balanced economically system. I need to remember that that exists, actually, because I can keep working on that, but it's going to take a long time. All right, there you go, guys. That is it. Let's look at Straw Poll. We're going to actually play the game, and we're going to give you some actual real entertainment here. Results. Looks like, as I anticipated, 100 of you want to play, but the majority of you are EU. I don't know what that is, man. I wonder if I had an American accent, I would have... Oh, I'm already on EU. Fine. Okay, cool. I wonder if I had an American accent, that would swap, and I'd have a majority NA audience. I've never catered the way I speak or deliver content to one or the other, but yeah. Maybe it's just Guild Wars is getting EU heavy. I don't know. Yeah, Bloodbound Weapons. I think that's what they're called, right? You get the Provisioner tokens, and then you go from there. All right, guys. So, if you want to play with me, all you have to do is type in-game. Not that. That's the name of a character in the novel. Gida Odsotadir. Odsotter. You type this in-game, in your little text box in-game. You open the chat, okay? And then you just type /squad_join space and then 3 letters. It really is as simple as that. 3 letters. That's one of my character names. Lys. L-Y-S. It's that simple. You type that in, you press enter, and you'll be on my squad. And you'll be up here. And we can do that up to 50 people, which I'm sure we won't max out. So the objective is we're going to learn about the current events, and we're going to play with those. I'm not really sure where to start on this. The main thing I want to start with is make sure we've actually got fun gear. I did want to do rampages. I wanted to do the shrapnel rampager idea, but I guess this is fine anyway. So sanguine array, if we're power, we'll definitely run no scope for the crit chance and the extra ferocity. Juggernaut's going to be useless. Modified ammo? Yeah, let's go modified ammunition. Grenadier is fine. Aim assisted rocket is fine. Shrapnel, sanguine array, grenadier combo. And then, what else do we want to do? So, activate the utility goggles whenever we get blinded. So, that's Fury for us when blinded. On a 40-second ICD, don't care about that. We'll stay with static discharge. The takedown round is not... Oh, it is an explosion. So, look, even the takedown round can trigger shrapnel. Streamlined kits. What do we get for picking up the grenade kit? Is it the fire shield? You get the fire shield for... I guess we can just turn it on and see. Fire shield's so boring. That's the bomb kit. That's... Oh, maybe you drop a mine. We have to get in combat to see. So we're going to rifle attack him and then pick that up. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll run streamlined kits just because it's for the funsies. Maybe. And then kinetic battery, right? No, I'm going to run... Striking a stealth foe. No one ever stealths in PvE, so that's fine. We'll go kinetic battery. Then, instead of the turrets, obviously, which isn't so important, I guess we can run rifle turret for the surprise shot. We can also go hollow here. I want to keep the elixir U for the quickness. AED's got a good tool belt to proc static discharge. I guess we'll keep this, though. And then what's the best elite for static discharge? Orbital strike? How was the cooldown on that? 104 seconds. Jesus Christ, no, we're not going to do that. All right, I guess we'll run the mortar kit because the orbital strike's got the lowest cooldown. I don't know. Hollow might be fun though because turning that into the photon forge, but then you can't use the grenades and the explosions and the shrapnel combo. I don't know. Maybe that's not so fun. Wow, we did actually get a lot of people. Holy shit! All right, that's fine. Okay, so what do we do though, chat? Go talk to Machinist Nin in our home instance to start off. Okay. Alright, let's go speak to Machinist Nin. I mean, this could be a disaster. This could be a terrible, boring stream because even the last current event set, I don't remember. So just so that you guys know, there is a concept in this game called current events. The devs sneakily add content that the only way to find out about it is to explore the world and just discover what may have changed. And... What that is then spreads through Reddit and the community as they find things and talk about it, and it ends up on the wikis. There is, actually, it's called side stories, all right? So previous side stories have had all kinds of different achievements. I've done content on all of that as time's gone by. I've actually completed all of it, except the current side story, the current event, it's this. So it's currently that Joko is invading the starter maps, and you could go through and defend them. I had defended all of them except Caledon and Plains of Ashford. I'd never done those, so I hadn't actually finished the last set. So that's zone defense. Now there's Portal Breaker, which is to infinitely defend. That's fine. And then the Survey on Subjects of Importance. This is new, I think. This is the new thing. I hadn't seen this. So we start here. Take a poll from a traveling journalist crew. Suggested locations. Southsun Cove? Really? Oh, that's cool. So this is going to take us to a Living World Season 1 location. But people are telling me to go to my home instance first of all as well. So let's do that. So I think that this new current events has just simply expanded upon the last one. So go to your home instances, guys. We still will be in the squad as we do this. Go to your home instances, and yeah, if you did the last current events with the Joko things, it was this dude appeared, and I guess we can continue with this. So what does he say? Engineer Issa? Have you noticed any unusual readings on the detection device? Oh, wait, yeah, hold on. Do I still have that? I don't know. I might not still have that. The Arcane Council has documented the destruction of the Awaken's portal system. Then the portal attacks have stopped, right? Frequency of incursions has decreased dramatically, but some regions still register activity, and there are shattered reports of abnormal awakens. So what I understand the devs to have done here is I think they've just reduced how often Joko attacks. He used to do it like every hour, and maybe he does it less frequently now, which makes sense. By reducing the frequency, I think what they're trying to do is they will have that permanently interior now. They're not going to go like Living World Season 1 mode and delete it for good. It will permanently be interior, but it's now rare enough that it's not going to, like, weird people out once, like, I guess, what, if there's the story, eventually we defeat Joko, maybe at the end of the season or something? I don't know. It might be kind of strange, actually. But, and that's always been a weird question with current events, whether they'll end up deleting stuff. But I think that's fine. We did get donations, by the way. I'm so sorry for missing that. A Jules said, I got a job as an engineer, which means I can donate. Dude, that's so lovely. Thank you very much for the $5. JMC334 as well said, I also like the books that you've been doing. Thanks, man. That really means a lot to me. I very much appreciate that. So, yeah, thanks to you guys. And we had a couple of people sub there as well. Research, Dead Zealot, Atrophied. It's great to see all of you. Dead Zealot, you're almost a year done, dude. Dead Zealot. You keep leaving comments on Guild Wars 1 videos, and I just want to say, look, I keep responding to you, and I want to see your responses, but I don't think you ever go back to your comments to see that I've replied. So I miss, or you miss, basically, interesting things. Anyway, so check this out. How can Joko's minions still be using the portals? For a variable point exit, the destruction of the entrance could cause any number of malfunctions. A substantially deviated exit point would be likely. Have you seen the Awakened in new locations? Oh, so they're saying, because we destroyed the regular portals, the new ones are opening in different areas now. Somewhere they didn't attack before? I could keep an eye on the detector. If you find such a location, search it for any signs of useful debris. A collapsing portal would invert surrounding matter through to its exit. Okay. I'll investigate and get back to you. Thank you, dude. Remind me what I'm looking for. In its violent collapse, the portal system used by the Awakened must have left debris in a new location. That may be the key to understanding the rarely occurring attacks. So, is this related to whether I've actually done the story and destroyed the portal hub in the main events?
Excelsior.
I have some questions. Sure, what did you want to know? Oh, what is this? This is all new. These portals seem new. How do they work? Well, long-range variable exit portals aren't entirely new. The tech has existed for a few hundred years, but there were documented issues keeping it out of common use. What sort of issues? Transporting anything organic at a high rate has grisly accidents without at least an endpoint beacon. The higher the distance, the worse those issues become. I haven't seen any... This is old. I think we've seen this before. I haven't seen any accidents. Yes, they seem to have made a breakthrough. Maybe awakened physiology plays a role, but that's challenged by reports of living beings traversing the portals. I had another question. We've heard that before. How do you know so much about the portal? My domain of expertise is pulse surface era technology. Did you know that variable exit portals were developed to deploy golems in the fight against the destroyers? Yeah, that's true. Basically, they had ODST drop pods style stuff from the original game. I think there was a thing where you drop like a flag or something, the beacon, and then the golem would rocket in. Why isn't it more widespread if it's that old? Transporting anything organic is a high rate. Okay. I saw portals a lot like the Awakens portals being used for a festival. Full stop. Explain. I seem a bit dickish there. So this is talking about the Super Adventure Books SAB portals, right? I wonder, is it the same team? Is it the festival team that does this stuff still? That would make so much sense that the festival team does the update to SAB with all the portals everywhere in the world. And now they've hooked that into their quest thing that they've got going on at the same time, you know? WP has also replied to like 90% of my Twitter messages. He's way too dedicated. I'm not very good at responding on Twitter. Alright, so yeah, let's see this here. I heard the Arcane Council has renewed interest in the quick setup portals. The ones you've seen required an on-site beacon and a specialist during setup, and are safe to use. Interesting, I have no question. Wow, so they just add a little bit of flavor in there. I like that. Good on the devs. Tell me about yourself. Well, I'm with the Peacemakers, or Godrat Assume, in the surrounding regions. I work on golem deployment, mostly. Does he appear in other people's home instances as well? What college did you attend? The College of Statics, of course. I'd rather work with the golems than try to find loopholes in the laws of physics. Alright. It's good to meet a fellow statics member, who's also my engineering expertise can help you out. Should I... By the way, I have never, ever, ever picked up the bauble generator. I bought this at the last second of the festival. So here it is. It's a bauble. Oh, we actually mine it like regular. That's kind of funny. And we get baubles out of it. So I can claim baubles all year now. 24 a day. Basic maths failing me there. Okay, anyway. Alright, so there you go. I finally got those. Right, how does that lead us to Southsun, though? They are the same scene. They said so in the video. By the way, if you guys get bored, if you're not going to watch the monthly after my stream, and if you're a little bit bored after my stream, you should check out the Guild Wars 2 Twitch channel. I very rarely advertise the Guild Wars 2 Twitch channel because quite often I'm missing what they do. However, you might not know, a couple of days ago, it was the anniversary of Guild Wars 1. Not a particularly special or interesting anniversary, but the 13th anniversary for that game. 13 years ago, Prophecies came out. So the devs did do a little celebration to that, which I think is brilliant, right? Like, a lot of years, they've just completely let it go pass by, uninterested in it. I think the last cool one they did was the 10th anniversary, where they went back and added those little quests or whatever. And Guild Wars 1 obviously had that graphics update lately, and SCW had that AMA, and the Guild Wars 1 subreddit's really active. But the devs did do a stream. They went and played Nightfall, and they played some of the missions around Nightfall related to Recent Living World. So, you know how Farina, the first city, appeared in Recent Living World? They went back, and some 2018 Guild Wars 2 devs were playing Guild Wars 1. And it was actually pretty cool. It was, you know, the outposts were full of people back in that game, in tonics, dancing and stuff. Guild Wars 1's in a really interesting place right now because... Oh, we got to go to the Southsun Gate, right? It's in a really interesting place because it's so active community-wise ever since SCW started talking to them and did that AMA and that little update. If you go to the Guild Wars 1 subreddit, it's like super memey and like active at the moment. I'm sure it will die away again, but like everybody's doing all kinds of stuff. There's basically people are taking Guild Wars 1 skill icons and just making like joke images and memes and jokes out of them. It's really cool. So check those two things out. They did a stream and the Guild Wars 1 subreddit. It's pretty fun. I was actually inspired by that subreddit. I kind of want to make a big art piece that makes like a giant skill tree showing off all the Guild Wars 1 skills. Kind of like the Sphere Grid or like the Path of Exile skill tree. You know, like how those look? I'd love to do a version of that that lists all the Guild Wars 1 skills. All 1,300 Guild Wars 1 skills in order of acquisition for the 10 professions. I would love to do that. But I might not be talented enough on Photoshop. I've been messing a little bit, but I might not be talented enough to pull it off. I don't know. That's more of like a leisure thing. Instead of playing PvP now in my leisure, that's what I'm doing. But yes, it's really kind of cool. All right, okay, so Southsun. Let me have a look here again. Current events. Survey on subjects of importance. Take a poll from a traveling journalist crew.
Why shouldn't we find a way to mutually benefit?
I serve the greater good. Doesn't mean I can't help myself along the way.
That's the spirit. I anticipate a synergistic working relationship.
Okay. Consortium being consortium people. Subject to null there. This is the guy that Kanak goes to and literally like threatens with a decapitated head. There's a story where Kanak breaks into this dude's house and threatens to chop his head off. And like drops one on the floor next to him and blood like oozes out across the floor. Kanak was like a nasty piece of work. He's a really cool character. I was happy in the AFC, the devs said that, one of the devs said that they thought Kanak had the best arc, and they're absolutely right about that. 100%. Oh, here we go. Oh, is that new dialogue that they've done there? I get a lot of people asking me, am I going to cast the monthly here? Somebody asked in chat as well. No, I'm not casting the monthly. You're reliant on Jebro. And who else is casting today? I hope someone does the EU side if Jebro does NA. I really do. I'm not ready for it. When I start doing the monthlies, trust me, I'm going to go big dick on it. But I'm flaccid this month, I'm afraid. I'm on cooldown, so we can't do it. I'm a bit out of practice. All right, Finher. Ooh, it's as hot out here as the stories say. Oh, look at him. He's cool. He's getting a tan on. Oh, no, he's not. I thought he was like, he had his chest out. His leather. All right. Kalu is handling the interviews if you're here for that. All right, what are you doing here, buddy? Kalu is determined to get holograms of Awakened appearing on the island. But if they exist, they're rare. For now, we're in... Wait, I've already lost... What? What are you talking about? Sit and stay. Kalu is handling interviews. What are you doing? Kalu's determined to get holograms of Awakened appearing on the island. But if they exist, they're rare. For now, we're interviewing tourists. Anything interesting so far? A few vacationers mentioned hearing a sudden loud splash east of here. The deep waters are a bit dangerous to follow up on that, though. Ooh, underwater content, boys. Yeah. Okay, hold on. So, Kalu, you're the more important one. Oh, there's 3 NPCs here. Oh, my God, this is a creepy-looking Asura. I'm sorry, but the creep factor on that Asura is a bit mental. I'm going to turn off the squad join message now because, like, we basically have a full squad. Aha, celebrity! The Tyrion Hollow news crew is on location, hitting the beach for our report. Spectres of Southsun. Famed hero Issa. Can we get a word for our readers? Oh, he's... Okay, Spectres, what are you talking about? As seen in our previous report, Province of Peril. Awakened forces invaded Metrica Province using stolen tech. What? The portals now lay destroyed, but rumor has it their evil deeds continued. Here in Southsun Cove, with a whiff of tar, mysterious glowing Awakened appeared near a Southsun outpost, disappearing as abruptly as they came. Tensions are rising like tides among vacationers. I like this. That's so soundbitey. You can imagine he's in front of a camera. What? So hold on, the Awakened stole something from here? What would they steal from here? Oh shit, they're not going to ask us to remember all of the, like, the plot with Kanak here and how the people started going crazy because of the plants. I don't remember the specifics of that plot anymore. Hold on as well. In Season 1, didn't Ellen Keel deliberately sink her ship with, like, incriminating evidence on it so that people wouldn't find it? And they're talking about the Awakened in deep waters. Oh, man. This is cool, but my memory's completely off. All right. Oh, Georges is doing... EU, is he? There you go. You've got Georges and Jebro. Look, the monthly's being covered. It is being covered. We're good. Okay. Oh, we get the personality choice as well. The settlement guards have fought far worse than the Awakened. No need to fear. Between the guards, me, and the Karka, I doubt the Awakened have a chance. I like that. This is actually quite ferocious, saying me. They don't need to worry, I'm here, and the Awakened are no match for me. Just straight on me. Listen, I'm going to put it this way. Listen, the Karka are pretty goddamn deadly. I doubt the Awakened have a chance. Ooh, a moving declaration. This will be a perfect tagline. It might even be a primary display material. Be sure to pick up a copy when it's available. Supplies are always limited. While you work on that, I'm going to go see about these Awakened. Okay, one more person as well. Good afternoon. I'm conducting a poll that will be published in our regularly available hologram report. Care to record your opinion for posterity? Sure. What are you surveying? Wonderful. Oh, is this a legit poll? Are we actually polling this? Oh, guys, I should host a Twitch straw poll to translate into the in-game poll. I'm not going to do that. That's too much effort. Don't get your hopes up. Don't you dare type that you want me to do that, because it's not going to happen. What animal appeals to you most as a household pet? Oh, I like cats. I love cats. Cats. I like some chickens around the home. I've always wanted a pet bear. Can I say choya? Are they even a pet?
Everything has
I actually feel like going dog person is the most boring thing here. Dude, what are chickens like as... I had a friend that had chickens as a pet.
Our deeds are reflected in the dream.
I don't know. Let's go with... I like cats. I love kitties. Kitties are my favorite. Doesn't everyone? Thank you for your answer. And look for... Oh, no! It's just dawned on me. This is the current events team. I haven't forgotten the Shadow Stone. I haven't forgotten that we had... Our choices had consequences way back when. Oh, I just said I was a cat person, and that might actually mean something later. Oh, no. Doesn't everyone? Thank you for your answer. I look forward to seeing the results in our next Hollow News. Oh, I'm excited to hear which pet is most popular. They're going to post that on the website, Living World Season 1 style. Thanks for taking our poll. Ah! It's okay, because I bet Choya's going to win. I bet Choya... Oh, what does the Guild Wars 2 community... 7,500 karma for that. I'm pretty happy with that, because I still got to keep buying cultural stuff to get our wardrobe unlocker meta game going again. Oh, which wins out? The Guild Wars 2 community's love of Choya, or the internet's love of cats? I guess we'll find out next time. So...
Live well. Excelsior.
So, sorry, that was it? That's it? Is that the current events? What about the underwater thing? Benji says, damn it, WP, our time for home instance dogs. Oh, that's what they're doing, isn't it? It's a poll. They've polled in the community to know whether they should add more cats or start adding dogs or add Choya. Oh, that is gross. Oh, oh no. I should have gone dog. I should have gone dog. Can I change my vote? Is it too late? Can I change my vote? I've decided I don't want Brexit now. Can I change my vote? Please? Please? What kind of democracy is this? I want to change. Oh, this sucks. If we get more cats, I will cry. I apologize. If we get more cats, I will cry. You can blame that on me, everybody.
Live well.
All right. Is that it, though? Oh, I have to delete this character. Yeah. Do I get to vote again if I delete it? I'm gonna assume that the actually good commander might be at something worthwhile. Oh, there's a guy out in the water here. I'm gonna trust the random dude out in the water that might actually be something. So let's go have a look. Nin said to find debris. Yeah, all right, we're looking for debris. Like, there could be more achievements. They'll just be hidden, right? So. Oh, is he just... He's waiting for the reef shark? Do we want to kill the reef shark? Is the reef shark defending the thing? Oh, look, our shrapnel builds. Super pro underwater, guys. Ow! Jesus Christ. I'm actually really curious about how our might will do underwater on this one. What are we at? 5. Yeah, I mean, this is a build that scales with enemy count. The more enemies you have, the better. It's interesting that Harpoon has a cast time while Surprise Shot doesn't. Sort of weird. The more enemies, the more might we'll build. I'm also very low on Fury. So I wonder whether we need, like, runes or something that helps to build that. Pack runes might be pretty good. They give you Fury. And they just straight up bump your precision. I don't know. When it comes to PvE build craft, it's really... Oh, we just got a thing for the moot, guys. The mace. Oh, shit! We're really close! Oh, I love this. I've been accidentally building up to these for ages. What's the last thing I need? The Marsh Drake Broodmother in Metrica. Wow. One day, guys, I'm going to kill that, and I'm going to get progress on the moot. That'll be the game telling me that the moot is the next legendary I need to make. What else am I close to? Here, we're close to this. Pulled from sharks in Southsun Cove. We're actually really close. All right, so debris. Speaking of sharks, this is it, guys. Here we go. We're going to get Kamahali Kataki right here, right now. This shark is going to do it. I need to blow up those. All right, never mind. It was not fated to be. That's a lot of sharks around this ship, though. You're happy that ArenaNet pushed us to go to Southsun Cove again. Wonder if this will have any significance on the main story. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, the Shadow Box didn't really... not Shadow Box. I keep getting the Shadow Stone stuff, you know. It's tangential to the story, but not necessarily too deeply connected. I guess a bit like how raids are tangential to the story now, but not too deeply connected. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, God, Guild Wars 2 looks so messy underwater. It's actually ridiculous. Okay, we get an armored scale, though. Oh, here, look, there's a box. There's a chest. Do we want to open this? Imperial fragments and a torch. That's not anything. Siri Mistwalker says down here, so I think we've got to swim a little bit deeper now. One thing that kind of saddened me was Gail Gray's reply about Traherne and how even she thought Traherne had taken credit for our accomplishments, when in-game Traherne never does that. Makes me wonder if the devs actually wrongly believe that too. I mean, that's going to happen, Cossage, right? Like, I would love it to be that we could treat ArenaNet, the company, as a single entity with a single mind and like a unified opinion and thoughts and stuff that was actually accurate. But the truth is, like, a lot of those devs are going to be more out of touch in various areas of the game than even the community themselves are. It's just the way it will have to be. I like that Gail posted so much in that thread though, and that she contributed to the AFC so much, because those dev response have to be there, otherwise it's boring. Even if she's not like qualified really to talk about a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it does make me sad as well. Traherne, the whole thing. One thing I'm excited about with the LP is I can really, if people actually watch my LP, you will have an actual understanding of what the fuck Traherne's story is, which is good. A discarded Asuran datapad. It's unresponsive. A discarded Asuran datapad. Why would the well, hold on. So the undead have been working. What's the situation with them in the inquest at the moment? The memory must have been wiped out by damage. Interesting. So we actually got lost in transit. Locate unusual debris in Southsun Cove to help Nin. While diving for treasure in Sawtooth Bay, an adventurer sighted a disrupted portal. So, unusual debris 1. Vacationers at the Pearl Islet heard a loud splash to the east several days ago. Oh, this is a shame, though. I wish I got this information. You know, one thing the UI isn't capable of? Hiding each of these boxes until you trigger it via dialogue. Can you imagine how cool that would be? So we speak to an NPC and then this box unlocks within the achievement, and then you can, like, that would be really potent. That would lead to some cool stuff. All right, but Pearl Islet to the east, they said, of Pearl Islet. So where is Pearl Islet? It's here. East would be over here. So I'm gonna go explore over there. Let me search for that. Let me highlight that as a watch thing. To the east of Pearl Islet several days ago. All right. No mounts on the beach. No mounts on the beach, guys. You got to get naked. I like how I can have my grenade kit out even while I'm... I mean, that's not right. That's clearly not right. This is oversight. But that's fine. All right. I love this area, by the way. Farming here was always so fun. So, east of Pearl Islet. Maybe it's on the... No, but they heard a splash, no? So, if they heard a splash, it must be in the water. It's not going to be up on that beach. The Legendary Armor Collection did it? Did it? Really? The Legendary Armor Collection hid specific boxes within the collection? Wow, if they actually have that tech, the devs should look back at that, because that could be so useful. For various things. God, grenades feel so good when you take Grenadier and you get the velocity. When you're trying to actually 900 range them. I mean, the trait used to be really good when it was throw in extra grenade and it was, you know, 1200 range. So the velocity was even more impactful because you were crossing more bigger gaps more regularly. But even still at 900, I still value it a lot. Well, I think a lot of other people don't. Another shipwreck here. I should probably toggle on show... show all usable object names, right? And it should say something like debris here. I love that we have all these people here as well, and one of them probably is like, WP, it's over here. Like, desperate for me to find it instantly, and I've just got no idea who you are or where you are. Oh, there you go. Unusual wreckage. I see it. It's over there. Good. The situation is that there used to be inquest around Istan, and now they're awakened inquest instead. Ah, so they've got that knowledge. Oh, that's really cool. Isn't that a great idea? So basically, the Inquest now turned and following Joko have the knowledge they had in life. That's great that the devs are playing with that, because that's a really interesting concept about Joko's method of corruption and awakening, as opposed to, say, Zaitan's, right? Where Zaitan, like, they become mindless thralls. This Asuran storage crate is in surprisingly good shape for its surroundings. I wonder how it got here. So the question is, what were the Inquest doing here? And why is that relevant to Joko's campaign? A guard at Steampipe Steading filed a report with an odd flash of light across the canyon. Steampipe Steading. This is Pride Point. Keel's Outpost. Lion Point. Owain's Refuge. Cannock's Folly. Camp Carker. Seashell Hills. Cavern, the Southsun Strait. Steampipe Steading. Oh, this is the big central place. All right, guys, we've actually got. Listen, we've got a big squad here, guys. Everybody, get over to the thing. We got to do some fighting. This is a cool event as well. So it looks like the Karka are attacking there. So we're gonna move over. Did I see the devs mention how they were still working on a continuation of the story regarding Malik? I saw a dev say that he had. My impression from that was that Matthew Medina is a boss that cares a lot about the franchise and the lore and wants to exercise his creativity, and in his own time as a side thing he'd written like a prototype or what did they call it, a proof for where the Malik story could be taken, but it's gone no further than that, and they don't currently have any like idea for where they could infuse it into the game. So I think your comment there is a very naive and dangerous way to describe the reality of the situation. It's not that devs are working on a story for Malik. I think they were pretty clear about that. But it's very cool. I mean, what that knowledge does is that gives me a bit more respect for Matthew. That's about as far as it goes. Do I actually have any confidence we'll see that soon? Probably not. But yeah, it's cool. It's exciting, I guess, in that they have passionate devs working on thinking of stuff like that, you know. It always struck me that that dev in particular, that writer in particular, was always a little bit closer to that as well, because he was in sort of a senior writing position during Heart of Thorns, if I remember rightly. Whenever the fact that Heart of Thorns never touched on Malik comes up, he's usually the one in the Reddit thread that says stuff along the lines of, hey, yeah, we never had time, you know, the scoping issues. Some of the more solid information we've had from the devs in the past as to why Malik hasn't been more thoroughly explored is nearly always coming from Matthew, so it's always struck me that he's a bit closer to that story than other people, and that's sort of, not through any formal procedure, but that's sort of his domain almost. But maybe I'm wrong on that. It doesn't surprise me that he's the one that made that post in the AFC. Let me put it that way. My coffee's cold. I forgot to drink it, guys. I'm gonna give it a shot. I drink cold coffee on stream so much, I'm eventually just gonna get accustomed to it. Ugh, it's weird though. It is weird. It's okay. It's just like iced tea, right? It works. It's not strange. Drinking cold coffee. This feels very Jaka Itzel right now, doesn't it? I remember that when this came out and we speculated that they'd built all these assets because the Domain of Winds was going to open up and they were going to have all this kind of stuff in here, you know? It was going to be Domain of Winds Tengu assets one day. I suppose the truth is these could have been Domain of Winds Tengu assets from pre-launch that then never got used, so they were repurposed for Southsun with their first update of the Living World. Before Living World was even called Living World. But I don't know about that for sure. Okay, let me have a look again. Lost in transit. A guard filed a report on an odd flash of light across the canyon. Hold on, across the canyon. So, is this the canyon? Because that's the bridge that got built during the original current event thing, right? So, if it's across the canyon, maybe we should go back across the bridge and look high up. Oh, here you go. Unusual record. Found it immediately. That's good. Oh, curious. Is it Springer designed? Obviously, you could jump down from above, but it feels like their gut feeling is that you'd already have the Springer. Or maybe they just expect you to platform like that. That's cool, though. I'm not going to swap to the Springer because it's really fiddly to go through the UI, and like it's just annoying, so I'm totally baiting you right now. You all know it. An inactive Inquest display panel. It's unusually intact for something this far from an Inquest base, we suggest. Okay. A local described seeing a small fracture-like portal north of Captain's Retreat. A small fracture-like portal north of Captain's Retreat. So where's Captain's Retreat, first of all? This was a POI, the Onyx Field. That's kind of exciting. I like Onyx. Onyx is probably my favorite fantasy material. Is that a weird thing to have? Do you guys get what I mean? Does anyone in chat have their own? Like, oh, Mithril is my favorite. Oh, Mithril is amazing. Or like, oh, Orichalcum. I love Orichalcum. You know, which one? To me, I love Onyx. Anytime I ever see Onyx, I'm like, yeah, Onyx is a cool material. I think it comes from, what is it that instilled that in me? There was a game where Onyx was like the top rank of stuff. It was like it went... I mean, didn't Guild Wars do that as well with its legendary divisions in the end? Onyx is cool. Captain's Retreat. I actually have no idea. Star Metal. I don't know. You guys are saying some stuff here that doesn't seem like regular RPG. It seems like it's very specific RPG. That's not sort of what I meant. I'm not asking for like the most power creeped material in any RPG you've ever heard. I'm talking of like... Oh, what's going on here? These guys seem to be onto something. Onyx is not fantasy, bro. I think Onyx is fantasy. It can be a little bit more... Well, oh, you're saying Onyx exists, right? Well, yeah, but, you know, we talk about these things in a fantasy context as though they've got magical properties and, you know, are more than meets the eye. That's what I mean. I guess I threw you off by my only other two examples were like Mithril and Orichalcum, right? Which I don't think are real either. I'm really lost right now. I'm scanning chat to see. It's right there, WP blind. Is it? Oh, Captain's Retreat. Right, there's now an area name, not a POI. It's because I was looking for a POI, all right? Go easy on me. I was looking for a POI. Okay. Looks like the champion's up over there as well, so I'll get moving. Do I like Onyx's trade evolution? Steelix? I mean, Steelix is okay. I was personally more of a Sizer guy, though. And for what it's worth as well, I was more of a Polytoad guy than a Kingdra guy. Come at me. But those are my favored. By the way, I've never played Pokemon competitively, so I really don't know which one's like in what tier and whether they're actually useful. I'm talking about what I used to do as a 14-year-old. This is off topic, but do you think there is a chance that we will see more difficult, unique mechanics in meta events like the Chuck Gerant? There's a Reddit discussion about the brain-dead gameplay inherent to Zerg fights. I find it really hard to predict because when the devs have done things well, they've knee-jerked in the other direction. So like Heart of Thorns, you know, did its flavor of meta events, the Auric Basin and stuff. People complained about the prominence of them or whatever, and they just go in the complete opposite direction for PoE, and now there's another side of the community that hates what POF did. You know, like, maybe they can look at metrics and actual population levels and say, yeah, demonstrably Heart of Thorns was way better at keeping people in our game. Everybody zerged off with Path of Fire because we went the wrong way. You know, will they find a middle ground now? Will they knee-jerk in another direction in terms of, like, prominence of meta events, difficulty of meta events? What I will say is probably you will never see anything like Tech again, and you'll never see anything like the Triple Trouble Worm again. Because I think a lot of the talent that was invested in that content has now decided raids is what should deliver that content. And they're not necessarily wrong in that. There was a lot of, like, logistical... horrible stuff about Triple Trouble and Tech in terms of filling up overflows and aggressively telling other people to get off the other map and waiting for the events to recycle and all that kind of stuff that doesn't exist in raids. They're a lot more controlled in raids, putting that stuff in instances. So I think actually when I look at it at high level, I think raids are the better place, the actual area to deliver that content. So yeah, I think that they will have just... Like, if you actually look at members of the raid team at Guild Wars 2, ArenaNet, sorry, the talent that goes into those, a lot of those are the minds that were behind Triple Trouble and Tech. So Ultra Elite stuff, I don't think they give a fuck about making anymore, and I don't think they give a fuck about re-implementing either. No matter how great Tech was, you know, I could get on my hands and knees and beg and wail and cry at those devs, asking them to restore tech to its former glory. I don't think they ever would, because they don't, because raids exist now. I really think that, and I think that's a crying shame. But you know, realistically, it takes time to implement content and blah blah blah. So I think that raids have just replaced all of that. Now that's the ultra hard stuff. What about just middle ground stuff like Release Gerent? Release Gerent I would describe as middle ground. Maybe it was leaning a little bit more into the heavier, harder stuff, but I would describe it as middle ground. Or maybe like Dragon Stand. Release Dragon Stand I would also describe as like middle ground. What about that kind of meta event? Well, we kind of have one of those in the game right now. The Vabi meta. But people don't like it. Is that a matter of rewards? A lot of you will say yes. Is that a matter of it's just not very exciting or good? Like, what flavor is there? What art is there? What animations are there? What, you know, it's just not that interesting. A lot of you will argue for that. I think it's probably a mix of both. So I don't know. I can sit here and concept out eventually what I think would be the perfect way of doing it. By the way, I am actually trying to find the thing right now. Let me have a look here. North of the Captain's Retreat. Okay, so we just go north. We're looking for a fracture-like portal. So it's either out here and around the side, or it's actually like on top of the frickin' thing. If it is on top of the thing, that's gotta be mount related, right? I actually love the idea that they've put it up there, because that's like exploration of Tyria that was never available before mounts. So have they basically said have Path of Fire or go home? Have Path of Fire have a Path of Fire Mesmer friend or go home? Let's see. They said north. So let's see what we can climb around on here. Let's keep going up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I have anything else to say about wild bosses. Does the manta ray actually fly? It glides, and you can, like, boost. So we're obviously... What did it say, sorry? It said north. So this is the western ring, so it has to be up here, if anywhere. Let's get on the griffin. You dickhead! Sorry, excuse my French. Sorry. There you go. Let's fly and just look. Let's use our eyes. Didn't see anything. So maybe they haven't done the mount idea. Maybe they've said that everyone should be able to do this. This guy's out in the water here. I don't know, guys. We're looking for a yellow interactable. Oh, it's this guy. I think he just typed here. There you go. Ruined. Oh, thank you very much, actually. I appreciate it. Vabi fails too much. Yeah, like, the premise of these Reddit threads is that the failure is what makes you remember it. And I'm 100% on board with that sentiment, by the way. This looks like a piece of an inquest station. What a strange thing to find here. Oh, we can actually physically look at it as well. That's kind of crazy. I think there's one more now. Consortium after incident documents describe a brief light from the cliffs overlooking Owain's refuge. What do you guys think the significance of the actual lights are here? That's curious to me. You know, I'm on board with the sentiment that the difficulty makes it memorable. I believe the thread, if we're all talking about the same thread, I definitely saw one where the OP essentially said, listen, this is why you remember the marionette, but you won't remember Istan and Kamadan. Kamadan you'll just remember as that spammy meta in the future. Marionette you will wank off over because, hey, there was a bit of pressure and prominence to it. And, you know, I mean, if I actually remember rightly, Marionette was dick easy and, like, kind of stupid. And what actually happened with that release was they did Triple Trouble for the good players and they did Marionette for all the bad casual players. I know that sounds really, like, up myself nerdy, like, douchey, but I genuinely think that's what they were going for there. But maybe I'm just, like... And I spent weeks just, like, grinding on Triple Trouble over and over and over, and, you know, I was one of those complete losers that was doing that. But whenever we went back to Marionette, which was like every other hour, it was like Triple Trouble and then every other hour it was Marionette or something like that. Whenever we went to Marionette, it was just like a doddle. It was just like a complete DOS, like and it was boring to us. It was actually boring because it was just too easy. But I don't know, Marionette failed. So maybe my memory of it is off. I fully appreciate that it's probably off and I don't have a healthy perspective on what Marionette was. But it seems to have gone down in history as this amazing thing now. I don't know whether that's actually because Marionette was... What I'm trying to say is I don't know whether that's actually because Marionette was hard or because it's not there. You know, a lot of the time people will just say, oh, it's not there, so so now it's amazing, right? That just happens over time. Everyone's opinions of things becomes more favorable the longer they haven't interacted with it. That's why there's so much Guild Wars 1 nostalgia that's undeserved. That's why there's so much Living World Season 1 nostalgia that's undeserved. I know I'm a massive proponent for putting Living World Season 1 back, but a lot of it's like overblown how good it was, you know. And maybe Marionette is the same sort of thing. Here, look, like, look at this. Look at this comment. Dan the Alcado, 33 KAP. Look at this guy, 33 KAP. Right? This is a long-term player. The pre-Heart of Thorns time, farming Silver Waste, was the best time I ever had in Guild Wars 2. Like, that's an astounding comment. The pre-Heart of Thorns time, farming Silver Waste, was like one of the most loathed times, as far as I've understood it. I'm not saying that personally. I'm saying in terms of where the community was at, everyone people hated that all they could do was farm Silver Wastes. If you remember that content drought, where they broke that content drought with that mini Morgem event, people flipped out. People threw their stuff out of the pram hardcore. The community was not in a good state at that point. People did not like the game. People were so bored of farming Silver Waste months and months and months on end. I remember that so clearly. But, you know, the second Heart of Thorns came out, people started getting nostalgic about it. It could just be that it was a different group that now starts speaking, but it is funny how that happens, you know. I'm not saying Dan's wrong, by the way. He's obviously entitled to his opinion. God, you guys keep distracting me with stuff. The cliffs overlooking Owain's Refuge. So it must be these. There you go. I see someone's over there. Unusual wreckage. Nice. My name in game is just 3 letters. LYS. That's it. Here you go. Unusual wreckage. This guy has dyed his griffin to look so, like, ultra sharpened. It's mental. This must be some sort of processor, but it seems to be missing many attached systems. I'll bring back a piece of this for Nin. That should be enough data. So, oh, we get a piece of salvage device wreckage. Machinist Nin. Oh, sorry, what is that? Mechanist Nin? We'll want to examine this. Do we only ever get that from the last one, right? We get Lost in Transit. Writ of Tyrian Mastery. ArenaNet. You realize that's not a reward, right? You realize that's not a reward. You realize that there's probably like 0.2% of your audience is engaged enough to follow these current events as they come out that also doesn't have all of the masteries for core Tyria at this point 4 years later, 3 years later. You realize that, right? Okay. Let's go back. Inquest is sponsored by Intel. Do you need the expansion content like mounts to do what I'm doing? No, you don't. You don't. None of it. That's one of the things I've been wondering in showcasing. You do not need mounts. I've just been doing it to skip like it takes me 5 seconds instead of 20. That's the difference. So you don't have to worry. All right, let's go back home. Isn't that one of the good things about the game, that we all have good things we enjoy? Absolutely, yeah. I think that is something to celebrate, that there's so many vast different aspects of it, obviously, and everyone has their different memories and personal moments. I mean, what your personal favourite moment of Guild Wars 2 is going to change based on, like, what community you were involved with at the time. Like, I know a lot of people who don't really play very much anymore or don't care about the game too much anymore, and their favourite memories was, like being in World vs. World, because that one particular guild they had in World vs. World at that time were all amazing at getting drunk together and you know, having roaring community nights every Friday or whatever, right? Like, and now those people aren't there, but that's not really on the game. That's not the quality of World vs. World. That's, you know, the community's moved on now, you know? So, especially with MMOs, it's a very subjective game you play when you try to be objective about what you liked and why and when.
Embrace simplicity.
Well met, engineer sir. Were you able to locate any items of interest? Okay, I found Inquest wreckage in Southsun Cove. Here's a piece of it. Why is that a merchant icon? Oh, don't do that, current events team. Come on. Keep the fucking icon sacred, please. Don't do that. Inconsistent, man. This came from Southsun Cove. I will begin a scan immediately to compare against the data gathered by the portal detector. I should have an initial analysis ready by tomorrow. I find that amazing, though. The current events team do all this fascinating stuff. You see what happened there, right? You see that the current events team has realized that because there's no proper traditional questing format that's been established and pursued over the 5 years of Guild Wars 2's existence, there is no, like, UX. There's nothing in the UI to represent an option of giving a quest item, right? Like, this is Guild Wars 2 quest items. I know I've done it before a million times. I know you're bored of it. This is a quest item. This is the Guild Wars 2 quest item UI. It's hidden in the My Story thing. Yeah? This trophy that is soulbound on Acquire. So now they've actually got a quest item and they need an icon to represent us giving a quest item to an NPC. And they've reused the merchant one there. Which I don't think they should reuse the merchant one there, but it's interesting to see how they have to tangle and wrestle with that stuff. And I guess they didn't have the resources to build a whole new icon for it. Possibly because they don't have the time for the resources, or because they don't know how often that's going to come up in future current event stuff or be utilized by other devs. Anyway, this came from Southsun Cove. I'll begin a scan immediately to compare against the data gathered by the portal detector. I should have an initial analysis ready by tomorrow. Can I help you again? Because I'm an engineer. Oh, I think it's all the same dialogue now. So, do I have to come back tomorrow? I'm an engineer, man. Or is there a new thing that I can do to bypass the time gate? That was a cool feature of the last one. I get a data pad next day. Why is that even soulbound on Acquire when it's not a real item we get? Well, because I think it is a real item, dude. That's what's fascinating about it. That's what makes it so cool. I think it is a real item. That's what I love about it, you know? It's just like a weird... I mean, everything about that looks like a real inventory slot. It's just the inventory slot doesn't appear in the inventory. It's very strange. Tell us any random lore. Oh, God, you put me on the spot now. I had something on the tip of my tongue. And now it's gone again. I know quite a lot of random lore at the moment just because of the comments people are leaving on the Guild Wars 1 stuff. So, like, I'll be randomly reminded of, like, just some strange, obscure fact that now I can't bring to mind whatsoever. I wish there was an actual traditional quest journal. Yeah, I mean, we've had this conversation a lot. So is that it? Am I stuck now? Is that it for the day? We got some AP, though. Easy peasy AP. Is there going to be another zone defense? How do I know when more zone defenses come up? I'm going to wiki zone defense and see. I'd love to do at least one with you guys. One happened right at the start of the stream. But I don't know about after that. Zone defense. I feel like the EU people that are playing with us really didn't get their time's worth on this. There's not even a wiki page for it. I guess it appears somewhere else. Go kill 6 desert animals. Oh, you want me to get this? The Safari Hunter. That's been on there for ages, right? That shaman has one? Oh, he's got a timer, does he? You could do it, WP. Give us some Ampha lore. Rod, aren't you leaving comments? Someone left a comment about how I did the quest that gets you corrupted by the Ampha, but I've skipped, like, the end or whatever. The Ampha are a pretty obscure area of the story at the moment. If you think of all lore, I think some of those weirder aspects of Canthan lore, now that Path of Fire is out and we've looked back at Alona so much, it's a lot of the Canthan lore is now the most obscure stuff. Like, talking about the Jade Brotherhood and stuff, like... That just means nothing to Guild Wars 2 players right now. Nothing, because there's, like, no reference to the Jade Brotherhood. I was communicating with the Tarot Card Project guys, and we talked about that a little bit. Yeah, it was you, Rod. Rod, I'm really enjoying your comments, man. You do zone defenses with the portal device Nin gave you. Can also be rebought from the Scrit in LA. Wait, so what, the Scrit near Ravius, is it? Why does the Scrit in LA do all of those random items? They should have one NPC that lets you buy all that kind of stuff. Like, there's the birthday vendor here that me and Boots went to on the Ravius video, which is going up after this stream, by the way. There's just all kinds of strange stuff like that. Talk Kurzik to you. Well, Danica is my favorite character in all of Guild Wars. All of Guild Wars by a long way. Look at this. Look at the Ravius with all the little rats. Is he here? Is it the Hall of Monuments guy? Oh, it is? Look, they are. Lost and found shinies. They should definitely have the birthday gun and stuff here. They should definitely do that. Okay, so it's the... 2 golds? You're fleecing me. I've only got 6, man. Or I could... Yeah, fine. We'll just do this way. Okay, now we double click. It doesn't predict any imminent portal incursions. Oh, dear. Oh, Kairos, you had a link removed. Well, did you try and post a link, but you're not a sub, so you got kicked? Sorry, dude. For once, WP is only like 2 gold rich than me. Well, I do have more money. It's just in the Junilai storage at the moment. I love that I just said that out loud. It's true, though. It's one of my guilds. It's my guild bank. It's in storage because of the LP. I don't want to have tons of money on the LP. It would look weird. I already did my dailies. Luxons are better than the tree huggers. Hell yeah. No, I've hardly touched PvP, Fishy. I've hardly touched PvP this season. Just because I don't have a build, really, that's all. Boots is trying to tell me to run an aggressive firebrand build, but I don't know whether I want to that much. We'll see. You're making curry and watching me. Dude, that's cool. I'm really glad. What else have we got left? Is that it? That's a bit of a crappy stream. Is that it? I mean, I've got to record the audiobook, so I should save my throat, probably. Has anybody else got something they want me to talk about? Look at this. I can see what's about to happen. I'm at Lion's Arch. I'm about to get in some massive-ass long discussion while wandering in circles in Lion's Arch. That's how so many of these streams end. Is that genuinely it, though? No, I'm not covering PvP. I'm handing over a big host to someone else to do the monthly today, which opens at 8:15. It says opens in 1 hour, but it's more like 2. Talk about your favorite girl male from anime. I don't watch enough anime. I actually couldn't tell you. It's Tracy from the Orange Island season of Pokemon. Oh, he's my favorite. Am I going to play a Norn on the LP? That's a good question. I don't know. What do you think? People are going to have some words with me with regard to the Norn thing. They are going to have some words. I'll leave it at that. What is aggressive firebrand? It's a firebrand that runs like Menders or some crap. No, not Menders. What does it run? It runs like some aggressive set and just spams the F1 auto on people. And it runs Axe and it just hits people with that. And it's like super squishy. But for it can sustain for like a chunk of time where it has really aggressive damage. And then if it scores the kill, then it's good. If it doesn't, it sort of just falls over. Could you please do a quick summary of everything that's ever happened in Guild Wars? It'll only take a minute since you're at the end of the stream. So basically, you got this planet, and there's these dragons on it, and they get hungry for magic every now and then. So they wake up, and they eat all the magic, and then they go to sleep. But eating all the magic kind of destroys it. So every 10,000 years, all life and love and things just gets wiped out, and everything resets. Then things come back, magic comes back, it seeps out of the dragons while they sleep, and they wake up and gobble it up. Guild Wars 2 is right as the dragons have woken up to gobble it up again, and we've decided we don't like the sound of that. The races, there's some of the old races are still around. There are some new races around, like the humans, who are brought by gods from the mists. And, yeah, it's a story about the conflict between all of that. Boom, done, sorted. I'd love if WP made a Norn character, did the level 1 dialogue, and ran towards the Fang of the Serpent for that Jotun dialogue, and then deleted the Norn because the rest of their story is literally irrelevant. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Reg might have a point there. Whoa. Moving on. What did Cottage say about a subplot? I can't even see. You guys have typed way too much. It's all the way up there. Judy Pie Gaming says, hey WP, is this game still worth to play? I'm currently downloading it, but I don't know how to feel about it. Why are you downloading it if you don't know how to feel? I think it's worth playing. I think it's a freaking fantastic game. And it's pretty much in its golden age for everything at the moment, especially when the World vs. World Alliance update comes through. Except PvP doesn't have, like, officially paid tournaments right now, but the community can take a lot of things into their hands for that, and I don't know. I think there's a lot of hope for that one area of the game as well. I think it's brilliant. I think, honestly, there's so much going on. What is this? What do I think about the dev comments about the god's motivations and how there's still unexplained things about him? Are you talking about the AFC? I only saw one thing on the AFC, and I'm not entirely sure it said what you just said, so I don't know really what you're talking about. But in terms of Balthazar, I'm not satisfied by their response whatsoever. I understand that they want to defend their thing with Balthazar, but I'm still not settled on how I feel. But my gut still says that I don't like it. I've got to be honest. I really don't like the way they handled Balthazar. And I get why they defend it. And they're like, oh, he's the god of war, so he's going to be warlike. But it's like, he's more stupid than Mojo Jojo in the Powerpuff Girls. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are going to see through that. So I don't. We're getting a new PvP map soon. Yeah, there is a hint. The Asuran arena. There is a hint. My theory is that they're doing an Asuran arena because they can do lots of perfectly flat, sharp, geometric shapes and angles so that there's not many jumping puzzles again. And it goes hand in hand with the aesthetic. But eventually, ArenaNet, you're going to have to give us some cool maps like Forest. All right? You're going to have to do it. Bite the bullet. It's good. Is the World versus World update supposed to come? I might have missed that. I have a video on my channel about that if you like. You hope ArenaNet will explore the Elder Dragon's personalities in the future, as the novels and games suggest that each dragon had a unique goal. Did they suggest that each dragon had a unique goal? Where are you getting that from, Cossage? I've never, ever had that impression that they have a goal beyond eating. I've always felt they were very clear that they really don't have much ambition, that they're more like a hurricane, right? Like, that was one of the earliest descriptions, and I think the devs have, if they've ran with any ball, it's that one more than anything else. That they are single-minded in their pursuit of magic and their hunger, and they are sating their hunger, and that's it. The idea that there's like another layer, I'll trust that maybe you're onto something because you are quite knowledgeable with the stuff. So, but I'll tell you what, if I heard that from anyone else, I would question them sincerely. I find that very, very interesting. You want a lush forest-looking map like the north part of Lake Doric? Dude, Spirit Watch is like that. Spirit Watch is a bit mountainy, sure, but it's very lush and verdant. What do I think about the weekend event? And that ArenaNet does their ArenaNet thing and go crazy after a bit of success next weekend. Oh, is there another weekend announced? I didn't know there was another weekend announced. I'll be honest. I thought that the first weekend was a waste of time, practically speaking, but probably was good for noobs that have no idea how this MMO works. I don't see an announcement for another one. Oh, the material gathering one, right? So they did double experience and now they're doing gathering? No. That's the one we already had. What's the new one? Have they announced the second one? Oh, it was data mined. Well, no, if the idea is you're upset that the devs are like going overboard, I don't think they're going overboard. I think weekend events were brilliant for Guild Wars 1. And I think they could be good for Guild Wars 2 also. I think it's a little dumb in that they already have a lot of systems to incentivize weekly activity levels in different places. I think the actual answer was for them to sit down and remember that Heart of Thorns added this item system and review and refine this system. Stop feature creeping the game, right? And it's not super feature creep, but it kind of is in a way. I would rather they'd looked at this. I think that they already have avenues in game, but instead of that, they just says weekend events. But weekend events are good, so I'm not going to be that nerdy and oh, I know better than you about it. I think that weekend events are cool. They were good in Guild Wars 1. I've always felt that there needs to be a good like weekly concept, you know, for this game, and especially since monthlies left. Obviously, weeklies exist for raids. We talk about that from a weekly perspective. Guild missions, which, let's face it, are very de-emphasized these days, but that's a weekly perspective. I think the game could do more of that. Oh, yeah, it's a no downstate world versus world weekend. I mean, yeah, okay, so now that yes, I remember that now, and you can scrap everything I just said there. If the idea of the weekend events is to do mechanical changes, it's not about reward incentivizing, it's about mechanical changes, then obviously this system is like, they aim to do different things, and to a significant enough degree that both are justifiably existing. And in that case, yeah, I think that's really cool. That's a great idea. I think that time scale works a lot better. You remember that World versus World, they tested stuff before, and I mean, genuinely, World versus World players shat on their hands and tried to throw it at people's faces. It was like insane. But if it's just a weekend, I think that time scale is way, way, way better for them to play around with interesting experiences in World versus World. Like, yeah, I think that's good. You'd like to see a weekend of that in SPVP? I don't think that doing that with SPVP is a good idea. It's okay for World vs. World because it's asymmetry and it's about wild, divergent experiences and it's very broad in what it aims to deliver. and that's the excitement. PvP is about symmetry and expectation and practice, and I don't think that it gels with PvP at all. I think they'd be insane to do that for PvP. Unranked, fine. Hot joins, fine. Ranked, no. Tawnies, no. If they want to go so far as to split that, then fine, but... I wonder why Shaman showed that in his state of mind. Normally he avoids spoiling ArenaNet's intention beyond new skins. I don't know whether that's true, Cynthion. He's cautious about story spoilers. Beyond that, I don't think you're really right to say that. He's revealed upcoming features and stuff before, and I don't think anyone's held it against him. Fractal Ben took some notice on someone's post. Future instabilities they want to see. Yeah, I saw that as well. Ben's amazing. Ben, like, come on. Come on, other devs. Do it. Listen, this is what ArenaNet needs to do. This is how to do things. When I was a little boy, my mother used to get me to try and do housework by putting a blackboard up, and she'd put little jobs on the blackboard, and I'd get like 20p for doing one or whatever. But what was interesting about it was I would compete with my siblings to do the work because they could do it first or whatever. So what ArenaNet needs to do is out there in their lobby, all right, big old chalkboard there, scoreboards, and like post quantity. I'm not serious about this, by the way. This would be so bad. But they need to compete, all right? They need a way for people to compete with ArenaNet Ben, who is the current king of community interaction. There needs to be a scoreboard. They need to get competitive, and someone needs to try and take that crown from him, all right? That's how they do it. That's what they need to do. Mother exploiting children for slave labor. That was a good strategy. It worked. It worked. ArenaNet. Oh, you like double world XP? Here, have double world XP and more reward track, more magic find, and no downstate. Did they really do that? Did they offer all of that at once? I think it's a bit presumptuous for you to speak for the entire community there, though. I'm sure that will excite a lot of people. Listen, World vs. World needs that stuff, though. It needs big injection points of excitement where rewards are just, like, super wild and heavy to get people to push into it. It needs that. So, you should be thrilled. I mean, I know that it lengthens queue times and stuff, but it's a question of community cutting off its nose to spite its face always when World vs. World players complain about infusion of player base. Do you think mounts trivialize some vistas? Absolutely. I think mounts in Corteria is a terrible idea. I'm sorry, but I think the only way it should work is there should be a mechanic introduced to the game, like a durability mechanic. I know that doesn't feel very Guild Wars, you know, but I think that was the only way to have it in the game balance, so it feels special when you do it. So you can do it, but you're like... And it's easy to justify in flavor as well. It should be like, oh, the skimmer can't exist in this climate. You need to feed it lots of food, but you only get to feed it a certain amount a day or a week or whatever. And yeah, and I know people hate that stuff, but that's genuinely the best implementation of mounts in Corteria, I think. Time gating them so that you can only have them for windows of opportunity, because psychologically what that actually does is that disincentivizes heavily players to do it, and it makes it feel very special when you do it. I really think it's deteriorated Corteria to a dizzyingly terrible extent. No one's going to agree with me on this, by the way. This is like total rage bait for 99% of the community, so you can ignore what I'm saying. Remember, I'm not an authority. I don't have any power. You don't have to worry if a random nerd on the internet, such as myself, has a different opinion to you. Don't shit yourselves. But that is genuinely what I believe they should have done with Corteria mounts. It's not Guild Wars, though. It's not what the devs think. It's not what most of the community would think that they want either, so it would never happen that way. So yeah, they've invalidated shit tons of the game. And made it clear how many invisible walls they are and how bad a lot of the architecture is and the environment are, and ruins your sense of speed and scale. They've done all of that, but there you go. Why reward track? This only gets PvE farmer into World vs. World. And combined with no downstate, this will be a disaster. You typed that with a billion typos. You're not making yourself sound very smart right now, Dan. Yeah, keep the PvEers away from World vs. World. I don't want them there. Honestly, mate, look a little bit further than that. You need fresh blood. Be excited about people coming into the mode. It's a weekend. Swallow your tongue for a second and just accept that, hey, maybe this might be good, broadly speaking. It will be. I think that's a cool idea. Yes, Coop, you make the argument that you could just... I'm not getting into a massive Corteria debate. No, I'm not doing like a 30th one this year, all right? It's all been said before. Oh, you could just not get on the mounts. Really? Okay. Oh, it seems to have really inflamed people. Yeah, you could make the argument that they're there for... I don't think that the reason Corteria mounts are here is because of some manipulative corporate reason based on selling gem store skins. I don't think that's right. I genuinely think this is what happened. The devs liked the mounts. They didn't like that when you went to Corteria, that they were tempted to press the keybind whenever they came back to Corteria. They thought it felt a bit weird. So then someone put in, like, rudimentarily just enabled them, and they were like, oh, this is really cool for the first, like, few hours that they played it. And they were like, this is fun, let people do it. And they looked back at the gliding, and they saw that they did that with gliding with Heart of Thorns, which you remember I took issue with that as well. And they thought, oh, that's really fun. Okay, let's do it. That's it. It goes no deeper than that. There was never a meeting where they got together and said, how can we fleece people for more money and make the gem store skins sell for more and all that stuff. None of that would have happened. It literally would have been, oh, this feels more fun to us. They would have thought very short term about it, and that's it. They would have done it based on that and that alone. That's it, guys. There's no more. And they will have had, like, some vague idea that if players hated it, they would have maybe taken the time to add an option to disable it if it was really needed, but people could just choose not to press it, and that's it. That's the end of the story. There's no deeper discussion than that. Actually, I'll tell you what most of the discussion about Corteria mounts would have been. It will have been regard to their QA, asking them to do a pass over the whole world and check in invisible walls and stuff. That's what it would have been. But it will have been it won't have been like some kind of crazy, like, conspiracy tin foil thing. You've got to give them a bit more credit than that. My instances are always broken in Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns. Do I have a solution? Broken in what way? I don't know how to answer that question. Azurbeat says gliding was probably the biggest reason. Yeah, that would have factored in massively. Massively. Benji says, I didn't see anyone complaining about PvEs during the last event. Well, that's good. I get it. I get why Wild vs. Wild has complained when PvE has come. I get it. Because especially with queue times, it's especially inflammatory. I get it, right? But it is better to look past that. Or let me put it another way. It doesn't matter whether you're mad. It doesn't matter whether you cry and whine about it on the internet because you're wrong. And the devs know that you're wrong. There needs to be more people that come to Wild vs. Wild, and you can whinge, but there's no point. So either embrace that it's going to be a good thing for your game type, or just not even sharp. I guess if you want to cry on the internet, cry on the internet. But there's like nothing will come from you crying on the internet. That's I would rephrase it that way. Nothing will come from it. It's good to put more players in World vs. World. That's the end of the story. I'm not really against mounts, but I think full damage to 0 while mounted is a bad idea. I think that probably that probably is just because they realized the Springer, and even this guy, to an extent, probably would have felt really terrible with no full damage. With full damage. I mean, this guy's designed to bypass that. I don't think there's an interesting thing with full damage. I don't think the devs have ever really respected full damage as a mechanic in Guild Wars. Ever. I remember the earliest versions of the game, they didn't have full damage at all. Some of the biggest feedback they got from those early conventions, if I might be wrong, and I openly will eat my hat if I'm wrong, but if I remember rightly, some of the 2010 demos, here's what 2 of the biggest points of feedback were. Number 1, we want full damage. Number 2, get rid of energy potions. Genuinely, that was like the main thing. And I remember the devs came out with a response, and they were like, oh, we were so scared about dynamic events that you guys would hate dynamic events. This game's all about dynamic events. Let's talk more about dynamic events, please. Dynamic events, we were all really concerned about that. And then all the forums were talking about was energy potions, and I remember that very clearly. And I think full damage was one of those things as well. I really genuinely don't think the devs have ever cared much about full damage in this game. And you see that trend continues. Heart of Thorns diminished the importance of it with gliding. So basically, they implemented full damage at the request of the player base. And then the first expansion diminished it, and the second even further. You'll notice, like, Super Adventure Books, they realized that they didn't like full damage as an aspect of that, and that got removed. I mean, that's a totally different ballpark, and probably is completely unrelated to any kind of cultural sort of feeling towards it amongst the company. I genuinely do think that Super Adventure Box was probably felt really bad with full damage, even if it had been shoehorned in a very different way and delivered in a very different way. But, you know. Will I start doing story recap analysis for each episode of Season 4 like you did with Season 3? I have a video on my channel talking about that about a month ago. A long video. If you missed it, just go watch that. I'd rather not repeat myself for hours on streams. Proof of hate or you saying you will eat it is a lie. Right now, you appear hatless. I've got a hat on right now. What are you talking about? Might want to check my subs. Did I get a sub? Oh, B-Boy! Oh, and B-Boy, I didn't even realize it was you that messaged me. B-Boy, I like never see you in chat anymore, dude. I was actually thinking about demodding you a while ago. How often, or maybe you are still around a lot? Thing is, I never like looked into it enough. So for all I know, you've been modding a lot, and I'm just a terrible, awful, horrible person that missed it. But it's great to see you, dude. A year! I can't believe you've been following the streams for a year already. Congrats on your new icon, dude. I don't have anything clever to say. Thanks for the year of solid entertainment, dude. Dude, that's very cool. It's great to see you, man. Ewendell, sorry if I missed your sub. No, I called yours out earlier, man. I read it out loud. You had a message, and I read your message. You're pulling a B-boy that you're pulling a royal there. Sorry. What's it called? Just look on the videos, man. Go to my channel and like it's called like an update. It's called like I'm bringing something that none of you want to see. Speaking of damage and mounts, what do you think of sharing HP with mounts? I think it's a bit pointless. Oh, you mean the new mastery? Bond of Life? Yeah, it's rubbish, isn't it? Let's be real. But let's kill Vic the Iron, guys. It is current events at the end of the day. Yeah, it's a bit pointless. Oh, wow, we missed our entire grenade barrage there. This guy moves a lot. He's going to run over here as well, right? Oh, I let him jump into me. It's okay, because Elixir uses stun break. Oh, I've completely lost track. What was the question again? Oh, sharing health. Yeah, it's a boring mastery, but that's sort of just par for the course, I think, at the moment, unfortunately. I don't have too many positive feelings about the mastery system in general, so... I mean, I'd love to be enthusiastic. I know people come to these streams looking for a lot of enthusiasm a lot of the time, but on that, I don't think I can be, I'm afraid. I think it's a bit boring too. Maybe they have opportunity to make it much more interesting in upcoming updates. Break bar's down, we can kill him now. Look at that damage, that's insane. Maybe upcoming updates will get more? What's the odds that'll spawn the legendary now? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, hype. The music is so good on this as well. Do you guys remember this? Oh, my God. Wait, did he bug? Hello? He seems pretty bugged to me. The executioner leaves when all targets are defeated. Whoa! Oh, my God. Okay, he's up. Oh, what? That's so unfair. Oh, there's a blood necro. He's actually just got a quadra res. That was insane. I'm going to basically range here. It's so weird doing big dangerous events in Queensdale and seeing all the tiny little numbers. Oh, yeah, we have the spectral reversal thing as well. Oh, my God. He just absolutely dunked that dude. Now, I haven't done this for a while, but I actually feel like we're getting okay damage here. The thing is, we just can't wipe. The number one priority, if you guys are doing this on stream right now, the number one priority is rezzing people. Because our only failure condition is everyone dying. So I know you want to keep doing damage, but the truth is it's keeping people alive that is number one importance. So over here I'm going to res these. And we'll just keep to try hold that. That guy codes. Thank you very much for the sub, that guy codes. I come here for poignant discussion, and I appreciate your candor, even if I have a very different playstyle. That's very cool, dude. I like those words. Poignant, candor. Do I have a blink? You can get back into the dome if you use one. Actually, I don't think... Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Engineer has 0 teleports across the... I think it's like a hard and fast thing on this class, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if the next NG Elite specialization offers teleports. I think offering NG teleports, or Warrior teleports as well. Warrior doesn't ever get any, does it? Would be really interesting. The other one is giving Warriors stealth, an Elite specialization that gives Warriors stealth. I think that would be very curious. You'd have to be careful with it, but I see that as an opportunity. It's good to see you, Dusty. Did you get a team for the monthly? Look, trying to read chat while doing this is difficult. What do you think about masteries that would allow you to converse with people you couldn't previously speak to, and it would unlock a special vendor for learning it, Kappa? That sounds amazing. Whoa, that sounds really cool. That sounds like exactly what the mastery system could do. That sounds like I'd buy an expansion over excitement on that. That sounds really good. Great idea. I can't wait to see that be implemented wholly, exactly how you just described it. That's very, very cool, dude. Necro ghostly stealth. I mean, yeah, the Spectre. You could literally call it the Spectre, right? Come on. Actually, you could call it a ghost specialization. You could call it the Wraith. You could call it the Poltergeist. You could call it any number of things. I think Spectre is my favorite. But yeah, Necro with stealth. That's easy peasy, man. There's too many. Necro elite specializations are so easy to make, to be honest. Like, there's so many cool ideas. Sorry, I mean thematically, conceptually. I don't mean actually in terms of the heavy lifting, the actual work that the balance team has to do. But, you know, like, a vampire, the blood, all of that stuff is, like, so, like, on the tip of your tongue. A minion mancer, Necro elite spec, they just basically, they fall off like you'd want ribs coming off of the bone, you know? Some of the other ones are a lot harder, though.
Another one down.
Man, next expansion, guys. I really want to do that video on the next expansion, what I want to see from it. But freaking spears and tridents and great axes and all that stuff. Come on, give us new weapons. Do it, ArenaNet. Give us new weapons. It's not too much work. Come on, you did mounts this time. You've got to go big dick when we get to Cantha now. The next Necro spec needs a scythe. That would be really cool. A minion monster warrior spec. Listen. I want to be very clear about this right now, Twitch chat. Listen. None of you will ever go on the internet and request more AI for this game. Ever. You're not allowed. Unless it's a Necro Elite specialization. That is the only place you are ever, I'm forbidding it, allowed to request more AI. It is just not to be done. What? This is a new icon. That looks so cool. There will be no, like, AI ranger specs. The Beastmaster? No. The next ranger spec is going to be a reverse soul beast, guys. Okay. So the soul beast, you take your pet and bring it into yourself. The next ranger spec is the reverse soul beast, where we take ourselves and go inside the pet. Okay? We become the pet. We get to be the wolf, or we get to be the mower, or we get to be the spider, or whatever. That's the next ranger spec. It's the reverse soul beast. It's literally called that as well. Reverse soul beast. Creative, I know, right? But no AI. The only AI that will exist on that is the hyena, because the F2 on the hyena allows you to summon more AI. That's it. There's nothing else, okay? The only AI that will ever come into this game again is that. I don't want to see any gyros. I don't want to see any... What else has there been? What other AI have they actually added across 18 elite specializations? I guess you had Rise on the Reaper. You had gyros. Is that it? Actually, top. Fair play to them if that's all they've ever done. Is that it? Gyros and Rise? I must be missing something. Necro got Reaper with Rise, and then it just got... I mean, Scourge does have the shades, but they don't really count. What did Mesmer get? I mean, Mirage is just like Mesmer plus. Chrono didn't... I mean, it had new Phantasms, but let's be real, it's the quantity's sort of the same. The caps were the same. Thief ability that summons dudes? Was there a thief ability? Oh, Renegade, I guess, is kind of summons. Yeah, Renegades, it's fair to call that Zoo. Renegade's really fun and it's good, but it's limited depending on what game type you're in. Do you think people would be outraged if Cantha isn't the next expansion? Actually, no. Scientists Memoria? I don't think so. I kind of think it needs to be Cantha to shift a lot of copies. Maybe I'm wrong to say that. I think their best bet in terms of selling a lot of stuff would be Cantha. But I think that there is a lot amongst the veteran user base, a lot of desire to see other stuff as well. I think people really want to really dive into Norn and see the Norn be rejuvenated as a concept. I think people want to see a lot of Char stuff. I know myself, I wholly agree with both of those as concepts. I know people want to see Utopia stuff returned to in whatever form, even if it's, you know, essentially mixed into Eye of the North and the Asura and all that anyway. I know people kind of like that idea. Going just to Cantha isn't necessarily all people will want. Some people are sick of the Guild Wars 1 fan service at this point. They felt like there's been enough of it, you know? They feel like Season 3, Path of Fire, and Season 4 have all been about that so far, so let's do something new. I guess, actually, Episode 2, A Bug in the System, has been pretty nice breath of fresh air. It's not a legacy location. The Omakana are, like, totally new. The Inquest and all that stuff, it's all very Guild Wars 2 oriented, Episode 2, so maybe that's a break from the Guild Wars 1 going back to and stuff. I do think that Cantha is the way forward, though, in terms of box sales and stuff. I think Cantha is another great opportunity for the game to scream in people's face, this is a sweet-ass MMO, let's remember it. They just need to pair it with good stuff. Literally, if they did Cantha with fishing, with really good elite specializations that have totally new weapons, with, I mean, I've got a whole list of, like, awesome features they could do. If they hit it all at once, it could be amazing. And built upon the infrastructure of mounts. Yeah, so, like, Architaz there says, I'm really one of the people who is super fucking sick of Guild Wars 1 callbacks, you know? Like, they're out there. They're definitely out there. Any interesting ideas for what a thief could get as an elite specialization? Actually, no, I don't know. In terms of weapons, I don't know why, but I like the idea of seeing thieves with axes, but maybe that's wrong with me. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see I'd like to see the idea of stealing be really deeply explored by an elite specialization. So, because that's like a core part of Thieves' identity, but I think isn't actually very interestingly dealt with mechanically. So I like the idea of, like, what's the Mugger, right? Like, the next elite spec, the Mugger, and it's all about those F2s kind of thing. Like, increase the variety of the F2s, the things you can do with F2s, how you obtain F2s. All that, I don't know. I don't know how it would actually look, but just something inside me, I'd like to see that be a big thing explored by Thief. Wow, where are we? Are we totally broke? Oh, no, we're all right. I'd like to see Thief dig into that. That'd be very exciting to me. I actually really like Deadeye. I think Deadeye, from a PvP context, is a really exciting elite spec. I think it's a really cool playstyle. I think it's distinct from the... I actually think it's very, very well done elite specialization. I know people like to joke about it and stuff just because of its raiding efficacy, but to be honest, those people are, like, so narrow-minded and, like, in their understanding of the franchise, they can... I don't care what they have to say. Raiding efficacy aside, I think Deadeye is really, really interesting. The copycat, get all enemy skills. That sounds more mesmery to me. I feel like the new weapons should be baseline, maybe 2 to 3 weapons per core class. I don't feel that at all. I think that muddies the play space and design space of all them too much. I don't think you sell more boxes on that. I don't think it's necessary even remotely. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this would be nice. But actually, realistically, I think it's complete nonsense and unnecessary for the game. That's just me. Yeah, I mean, you can always find inspiration by adding more exaggerated versions of stuff. So, like, Daredevil is Acrobatics Plus. So, maybe we do a Crit Strikes Plus, the Executioner, yeah? And, it's like, it's really heavy precision, ferocity, flat damage based. But, like, I don't know about that. I don't know how much wiggle room they have to work with, interestingly, thematically, on something like that. Here's an idea. The Brigand. You get 4 stolen skill slots and still get ammo, but a longer cooldown. The traits augment the stolen skills. That's pretty good. Yeah, the ammo mechanic, playing with F1 and stuff. I see that. Bit like Mind Rack getting ammo and stuff. Yeah, I think there's all kinds of things they can do. With the ammo mechanic in the game, there's so much more they can do. I mean, this is cool, right? Like... Heart of Thorns added the concept of cascade abilities. So, like, Rev Mace 3, right? bounce, bounce, bounce impacts. And, you know, it had Rev Hammer 2. It had the Berserker Longbow Burst, Cascade abilities, yeah, all over the place. And they started having new things. It added the tech for camera desync abilities. We saw a lot in Rev and whatnot. You know, it added these new things, and then Path of Fire added new things. It added ammunition, it added barrier, it added that stuff. So when we think of Cantha, there's like, you know, there's a lot of room for these new elite specs to do new things. Crit healing could become a thing, right? I still would like the idea of crit healing being a thing. You could steal a different kit. I mean, here's an interesting way of speculating about future elite specializations, guys. What would you add as the next supports spec? So, just to recap. Heart of Thorns gave Elementalist a support spec, the Tempest. Path of Fire gave Guardian 1, the Firebrand. And then there's also been sort of hybrids. You know, Scourge has some capacity to be supportive. Scrapper has some capacity to be supportive in various ways. So more tanky than anything. But you get what I mean? Like, it's safe to say that next expansion of the next 9, they'll pick another class to get a hardcore support spec. So who would you actually give that to? Oh yeah, Druid for Heart of Thorns as well. Dear Connor, I never said that I was listing every single one. I just gave an example. Lukai said Necro Barrier support Kappa, as if that's a joke, but Necro Barrier support's actually obscene. If you stack enough Scourges, you can face roll a ton of content. It's kind of gross. Reddit won't point that out to you, but it's true. You'd like to see an Ice Guardian? How does that answer the question? But like a Glacial Heart Plus kind of playstyle, you mean?
Hey, you finished that book I loaned you?
It's still us two, but we only really need one guy that would join the guild for the AT, and we can get the custom name and shit. We can LFG the last 2. Well, you got to find one more person to do the monthly. If anybody wants to play the monthly, guys, you can get huge amounts of money. We are opening up for the monthly. Any spuds? We're trying to run a monthly team. We need one more player, though. Necro needs real support, not some half-assed... I don't know whether Necro needs real support. I also don't know whether Scourge is half-assed. I don't think just because it's hybrid, you can say it's half-assed. I mean, I've made the mistake now of trying to talk about balance with Twitch chat. Yeah, Ventari is supportive. Efficacy doesn't matter as much as, you know, Ventari is blatantly supportive. Don't make me go in and look at the flavor of every single trait and every single skill. Salvation, Ventari is supportive, okay? I don't care what the efficacy levels are. It's a support line, all right? It's obviously what they were going for. They'll obviously go for something on the next 6-pack as well. As for my answer to that question, Thief. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but it's like you got like a hybrid tanky support thing for one medium, the Scrapper. You've got a support thing for another medium, the Druids. But what's the support option really for Thief? Maybe that's just too weird. Maybe that's just too mismatched. Maybe they just have to completely change it. Maybe they could combine that idea of the Brigand or the Mugger or whatever, and like it steals items to give to allies and supports in that way kind of thing. I don't know. It is a very weird thing. Because what would you pair that with? Shadow Arts and then friggin' Trickery? I don't know. It's odd. I don't know whether I like that idea. What about a good support for a warrior? Like banners plus, shouts plus. A warrior that basically closes that gap to the Guardian flavor kind of thing. I mean, that's a Paragon. Actually, to tell you the truth, that's a Paragon. It would be really weird to get the Paragon Elite specialization with Cantha, but I could totally see that. I could see a spear chucking warrior that's a heavy... is essentially like Druid, right? In its capacity to support. I could definitely see that. Chants, anthems, that kind of stuff. Supplemented by some of the core capacity to have shouts, healing, and banners, and all that. Warrior might be a good one to bet on. Doesn't necessarily mean tankier. Doesn't necessarily mean tankier. Thief support through lifesteal. That's a good idea as well. I think I see that more as the vampire blood necro, but it wouldn't be weird because Archimedes. Boom, Benji. Good point, dude. God, you're good. You're good at this. Why don't you have a stream? Hell yeah, Archimedes. Exactly. I mean, if we're going back to Cantha as well, you got Ritualist. Ritualist had a heavy, deep support line, so you could find Necro gets Ritualist for Guild Wars 2, and that's big D support. You could see they do that too. I mean, it's really weird, though, because that's got lightning damage on it as well, and it's got, like, spirit summons and things on it as well. It's kind of odd. There's, like, 3 different things that could become the Ritualist. The Rev could easily become Ritualist. It's got the blind thing going on. It's got channeling spirits thing going on. Like, Rev... and there's something that I adore about this. I'm going to have to end the stream, guys, because my throat hurts, and I have to do an audiobook. But there's something I adore about this. The idea of... Where's my Revenant? No, that's a Spellbreaker. We were playing him really recently. What the heck? Why can't I see my Rev? I must be so dumb. Here he is. He's right on the left. Oh, yeah. Have I shown you his outfit, guys? Oh, you got to look at this Fashion Wars too. Oh, guys. Guys, honestly. Look at this. Oh, baby. Guess who got one of the tonics? Oh, yeah. This is like the silk tonic or whatever. Well, not tonic. It's an outfit. What is it again? The khaki clothing. Oh. You got to admit, I've seen people check him out in Lion's Arch. Look at these big, weighty, deep footsteps there. Boom. The boss is in the house. All right, so basically... I love the idea of an elite specialization for Rev that is essentially Invocation Plus. So it's an elite specialization that is not themed after a legend. Corruption is Shiro. Retribution is Jarlis. Devastation... Sorry, Corruption is Malix. Jarlis. Shiro. Ventari. And then you have Invocation. Invocation doesn't have, like, a specific legend. It is about buffing the idea of communing with legends at all. It's about legend swapping. It's about Fury, mechanically as well. But it's about just, like, energy, right? Which is why you get the energy trait here. It's not about a specific lineage. This is the 5th line. I like the idea of Invocation Plus. So an elite spec that is not Carla, is not Glint, is not any specific person, but it's just about... communing with the spirit world. And what do you call that? Ritualist, baby. Either you do that, or you do... It's Ritualist, and it is about a specific person, and that specific person is none other than Master Togo, Ritualist Extraordinaire from Cantha. There you go. That's it, guys. So thanks very much for watching. Weird stream because we didn't do very much. I'll be back tomorrow when we have the data pad is done. The 24-hour cooldown is up. And we'll keep going. Thanks so much to everybody who followed. So, a couple of things. Number 1... Spud is recruiting. If you want to keep playing, if you want to have fun, if you want to do things, we are recruiting right now. We've got the big EU-NA split. It's really exciting. Click that link, please. You don't need an account. You don't need to install anything. You don't need to do anything. Just go to Discord. There's people you can chat with immediately, all about Guild Wars, all about the projects we do. There's even information on how to join the guild. That would be amazing. And yeah, we're looking for one more person, I think, to be able to participate, Spud, in the monthly. You can click follow to catch me tomorrow. You'll get an email or notification or whatever telling you when I next go live, which will be in about 24 hours. Over on the channel, there's going to be a video, a long-ass video with me and Boots in a second. Don't forget to check out the Guild Wars 2 stream for the Guild Wars 1 Nightfall playthrough, which was really fun with the devs. And lastly, in about an hour is going to be the monthly. So it's going to be really big. 25 minutes, actually, it opens. 25 minutes? Fuck me, where did the time go? All right, that's going to be going very, very soon. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I'll be checking out chat in one of the streamers. I don't know who it will be. In fact, let me look at the Twitch section now and see actually who's online. And yeah, I'll just pass you guys over there. So, oh, I have to pick a favorite, don't I? I have to pick Jebro or Georgius. I guess we'll go Georgius because Jebro's not live right now. So we'll go Georgius. He's going to host it, and it should be really fun. That's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you felt I wasn't too much of a snarky up myself bastard, and we'll have more fun discussion and good stuff tomorrow. Also, the PvP stuff will be coming back very soon on my end too. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.
I disengaged.